Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... couldn't quite set up my camera, apparently. Yeah, people are wondering where I was for the first hour of where this is supposed to be. We were recording a thing with Aiden, and yeah, we started an hour late because one of the people involved in the video didn't show up until then for whatever reason, and then, anything. So yeah, but we're here now. Is what is important. So yeah, and it seems like a lot of people are waiting for this. So I won't dive too much. And quite frankly, I've been waiting for this too, because 2 weeks ago, we produced not only one, but well, actually not one, but two projects that have come out, 3 episodes in total. But yeah, 2 weeks ago, this one came out. And yeah, this is one we've been waiting for some time, because it was originally meant to be voice acted, but then eventually, I think Jonny decided to not incorporate that, mostly because in the server there were there it was a mainly male or masculine voice presenting people that were in that one. Not so many on the female side of things, for a mostly female cast, as is the case with anything pops related. So yeah, unfortunately, that's why this one went to the wayside. But hey, like I said before, you don't necessarily have to have a project be voice acted for it to be good, or for it to be the best version of itself. It really depends on how you actually go about it. So I guess the question is, how did Jonny go about it? Well, we'll find out as soon as I've processed all of the different things in the chat, and I've let the people in who want to be let in. Among them, I can see BB right off the bat, so one's going to her. I sent a link to Moggy Mike before, who was in the video with us just now, but yeah, I don't think he's joining. Seems like he wasn't too keen on that, unless he's trying to work out how to set up restream, in which case I don't know. Majesty has set me free. Not quite. I was among the auditionees, and also I will say that because again, it was a mostly female cast, there were only 2 male roles, so yeah, it was a complete imbalance as far as people presenting went. Unfortunately, need to do an episode where Jacob is kidnapped and can't go live. Actually, that's a good idea for an episode. I approve of that one. That one makes a lot of sense. And I have featured in other Pops videos, so I'm canon to that universe, I suppose. BB joining a Pops review? Dang, yeah. I mean, okay. Let's see, what else have we got? We've okay, so Josh is saying, oh, social name you're welcome to. Sense by Buns, who says you are really always you're really kind, you always greet me. That is true. Josh does always tend to greet people. It's one of the things we like about him. Let's see. When there's only 2 characters, we know one's gonna die. She'll make me feel like a jerk, ruining the chance for a happy ending to this story. Oh my goodness. I mean, it can feel like that sometimes. As long as that's not like, too heavily foreshadows, people, realize immediately, like, okay, this person's dead, then you're fine. Okay. And yeah, it's true. It's a sacrifice the author has to make it. Well, it depends. It depends because if your story features death, then yes, that is the way to go about it. If in your story, no one happens to die for whatever reason, then yeah, you make it compelling through other methods. It really depends. That's like the difference between like myself and Aiden, for example, where he's constantly complaining about the fact that I have that I've yet to kill off any of the characters from the Mutant Girl specifically. But yeah, in the case of the Pops, well, we'll say okay, Juliet's an example of a compelling character death in Pops. However, remember the first person to do that, to kill off a character in a Pop series, was in fact Jonny in Eurovision Pop's last episode. I forgot what their name was, but that did happen. So credit where credit's due, because that death was more shocking. The Juliet death was more tragic, but the one in Eurovision Pops was more out of nowhere and surprising. So yeah, two different sides of the same coin, I suppose. How dare you two be such cute siblings? Fair enough. I'm not where I thought the damage was going in the original version, but hey, it's a reboot. And what else is a reboot? This is. So, oh no, did I load the wrong video? I did. I loaded the wrong video. Oh, because I pressed Ballroom Pops and I typed in BA and it went to Ballet Pops instead. Okay. Hopefully now it's going to load quickly. Because yeah, I'm not really sure anymore. Gonna get rid of some of the ones from the gay gacha things in the storage, because I need to clear that out. Also, bye Ballet Pops while we're at it. Okay, it's now processing at 6%. So let's go and address whatever thing B wants to talk about before we start the video now.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if you killed off someone in the mutant girl. Cause like, here's the thing: from Aiden saying that, it makes it extra funny because he's doing like a bunch of cosmic stuff, but you can't do that with mutant girl because it'd be such a weird shift in tone. So it's like you have to kill someone through like a very real means of death. And it's like, oh no, someone imagine more like not Morwenna, she's the main character. Pete's the main character. Second main, she's an important side character. But imagine Reina, she learns how to use a bike, and she's just driving around on the street. She's recently gone through an arc to get her driver's license, and then she just dies in a wreck.
Yeah,
that's the sort of stuff you're dealing with if you want to kill off a mutant girl character.
That reminds me of have you seen Gone with the Wind ever?
No.
Okay, well in that movie, there's a character named Paul who has an accident by falling off of a horse somewhere near to the beginning of the movie, and that follows the main character Scarlett into later in life, because the movie takes place over several years. Eventually, Scarlett's daughter grows up and is allowed to ride a horse. I think without any protective gear or something for one time. It's like, oh yeah, don't go too fast, don't do this, and then as that's going on, as the both of her parents, so main character and main love interest, they're watching Beyond's like, oh, look at her go, and then Scarlett, the main character, says, yeah, just like Paul. Just Paul. And then they literally do the exact same thing again. It's like, well,
oh my God,
what was the point of that?
Oh God, no. Actually, maybe my bike example might have just come immediate because I'm a big fan of Boy Meets World. As the show, behind the scenes things are funky, whatever, 90s and all that. The show is great, anyways, and one of the characters, it was great because one of the characters, I don't even know, it had to have been behind a behind the scenes reason for he had to leave the show because it was very random. But one day, they just started off the episode with, hey, this super important character's in the hospital, guys. And because he got in a motorcycle accident, I think. Car or motorcycle. One of the two. And he died that episode. Never seen again. But he was super important for like 2 or 3 seasons. He was a huge catalyst for one of the characters' like biggest arcs. It was crazy. And then one day, just in the middle of this family-friendly series, it's like, hey, Mr. So-and-so is dying.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do know that Boy Meets World does touch on heavy topics, including grief, I suppose. But yeah, from where
Yeah.
you've presented it, that probably wasn't their intention at that precise moment.
No, they pulled it off, but it is very funny knowing how it only happened in the span of like one episode. It's crazy.
I see.
They
All
had a
right.
cult arc too. That one was handled a little bit slower, I think, but
Hmm. Have I seen Lady Mania's recent community post about to take down Yahoo School and its sequels? Unsure why, but I managed to download them. Fantastic. I would love for those to be sent over to me. I did I I did actually speak to Mania about something Yahoo School related. Actually, that was there was mainly to do with my character. Actually, it was one singular hate comment that she sent me, and then somebody had already replied, and then I also sent a reply to clarify certain things. I'm not sure if that ended up manifesting on like everywhere else. That was still one person on the most popular video on that was still public on Lady Mania's channel and not unlisted. So yeah, not sure was why. I know that she wasn't happy with the way that show you know went
I did just look
turned
into it.
out, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if it was the Federico situation or if it was something else.
I did
It
just
seemed
pull up the community post to see why she was deleting it.
okay. I mean, I thought
Uh,
if you said that, then I'm surprised that I don't know, just
yeah,
Ghost didn't
it's
mention that.
oh yeah, she's not vague at all about what it was in the community post. It's classic Japanese characters, and it came back to bite her. And they're like, "Hey, there is some subtle racism in there," and she's like, "Oh, yeah, good point, actually."
Okay. I mean, that
That's
was
the
what the
that's the
comment
gist of it. She says in a more earnest way, but that's the gist of it.
that was what the comment was about. Actually, somebody calling out the first video, or I guess the rest of the series for presumed racism, mainly because mainly because people in the video seem to be mostly be laughing at the antics of my character, who happens to be a Spanish foreign exchange student. Uh, to which
Oh,
I say, well, I mean, I designed him to be comic relief, and not because he was Spanish, but in spite of it. And so, if they were laughing at the character, that was somewhat the point, and that's why I addressed the comment itself. But again, that was one person, and it wasn't to do with
okay.
anything Japanese related. So,
No,
if
well,
that's just
okay,
calling out
okay.
Japanese specifically, then I
To
suppose that was
clarify, I assume Japanese because of the nature of the series. If that is what you
right.
think it was, maybe that she simply said underlying racism. That is the most explicit in regards there. And then she was like, "Hey, I got a lot of POC friends. I didn't mean for this to come off this way, but now looking at it, it does come off this way. Whoopsies. Apologies."
Man, the fact that one person was able to pull that off from one comment, unless there were more people, you know what? I will talk to Mania about that later to see if there were more people that, led to that. Because if this is that one person, then who knows? Again, clearly she wasn't happy with it, like on a, I guess on a production or quality level to that point. So that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But yeah, I will look into that later. For now, we've got another thing to dissect, and I think it's loaded by now. Please let it be loaded by now, because that was a good sec. No, 83%. Great.
That's all right. That's all right.
That sounds like a hate comment. That sounds like someone. Well, it's because the comment specifically was the type of thing where it's like, you ought to feel shame. You've just lost a subscriber. That kind of, usual that kind of nonsense.
They're okay. Normally, I would agree with that as a hate comment. There is the context that from their eyes, they are just watching racism. And so it's like, at that point,
Yeah,
there
but
is some
it's
leniency
it's also to
there.
do with the fact that they weren't able to conceive that there could have been any other possible intentions. They made a bunch of blind assumptions about people's ideas in the show, and also and also deciding out of nowhere that that the main was like, oh well, you probably still find this all funny, of course, and just trying to like say like, oh yeah,
Sure.
you obviously know you know better than the person itself what the plan was there, clearly.
Okay, sure.
I mean, I was gonna say I could probably find the actual comment, but no, I because the video's gone.
Oh
But
no.
Oh, actually, well, it doesn't matter because actually Mania herself sent me the comment before. It doesn't contain my reply because that obviously came about later. But if anyone's interested, I can actually show the actual comment itself. Of course, image.png already exists. Why wouldn't it? Let's see. Because it would be different if they were laughing at Federico because he was Spanish rather than what it actually was, where he was being incredibly goofy and spouting random one-liners and dumb sentences. Like I literally said that wearing blue was a wise decision at one point. Like what was
Uh,
what
I
about
wa-
that implies Spanish? It would be red and yellow if anything.
Sure.
Anyway, here's the comment that someone sent. It's too small to read, of course it is. Okay.
I can read
So,
it.
all right. Okay, well, just in case, I'll read out. So yeah, I hope you feel shame, Mania. Honestly, I used to be a fan of your channel, but now I found this video, which, by the way, is the most It was the most popular video on the channel. So the fact that you used to be a fan of someone's channel and seen their most viewed video, interesting. But anyway, I don't know how to feel. The underlying racism, which I guess is the direct quote from the community post, from you and your friends laughing at the foreign member of the roleplay, is disgusting as someone of color who has dealt with exactly what's happening here. Again, not what happened. I can pinpoint the racism emitting from the video. Considering you're so supportive of diversity, this leads me to question how much of your acceptance is an act for followers. This is absolutely pathetic and I can't believe you left this video up just for a quick buck to spend on yourself, Biggie.
I don't know
I don't
what
know what that
Biggie means
means.
in this context. Should I even be
Yeah,
saying that word? Is that
I
like
don't.
slang or something? Or
I mean, well, I mean, I feel like there's the phrase "no Biggie," so I assume that it's okay to say in general. But also, yourself, Biggie, doesn't seem like grammatically correct anyway. If
right?
you had
That's why
any,
I'm asking if it's like slang.
yeah, if you had any real respect for PSC, you have taken down the video of noticing the microaggressions. But I bet you still find it funny you've lost a fan. So
Okay,
again, the idea of
I
like saying
think
like, oh yeah, you'd have taken this after noticing, as if to say like a 4-year-old video, you would go back and like suddenly be like, oh wait a minute, I'm gonna inspect all of my old videos now to do, just out of nowhere.
given the context and perspective, most of that I would actually forgive. Except for that tail end where they completely ruin it, where it's like, I bet you still find it funny, where it's like, okay, now we're kind of going in a different direction here.
And then you say
'Cause
left this video out just for a quick buck. If they were a fan of Mania, they would know that she's not that kind of person anyway. So
well,
that's why it leads me to think that
I
this is
don't
this is
know
somebody
about
directly
that.
trying to.
There's a lot of people that seem good and actually do just make things for a quick buck like that. I mean,
I suppose I wish I could show the replies because the other person who wasn't me who replied to this actually did mention that 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 she wasn't happy with like on a quality level and left it up for the sake of like the history and for the people who actually did enjoy the
sure.
series. Um, and yeah, and also just the idea of like there was no possible other way that this could have been. Again, if they actually watched the video and saw like what the whole point of that was, then yeah, I don't think that would have come across. And clearly, 4 people agreed out of the hundreds of thousands who had seen that video previously. And suddenly it's like, oh wait, well, one person seems to be offended out of a sea of everyone. It's like the way that the more people are going to see something, the more likely that one person is going to be offended by one thing that clearly was not planned. So the fact that that a comment like that has that amount of power is somewhat tragic, I think, at least.
I don't know. I think given the topic of the comment, I don't think that's so terrible for something like that to have happened. Now, if it's some random hate message, then I would be concerned. But again, because of the context, and if you are to believe like that they themselves are a person of color and they've experienced racism and stuff. There's a lot there that is like, I don't know if I can just call this a casual hate comment until you hit that tail end where then it's like, because then you're making a very specific assumption about their character that you don't have any founding for. Because like, you could say that you have a founding for the assumption that they are racist, right? You can make from all you have a statement that you believe is grounded. Now, at that point, whenever it's like, I bet you feel this way, though, then it's like, well,
Yeah, not to mention as well, you've already made an assumption about like how not even just Mania, but also everyone else who was in that video. You know, the idea that, you know, a group of people would have come together and be like, oh yeah, let's bring in the one that in like our Spanish friend or somebody, and then, you know, proceed to make fun of them for the video that's about, you know, a secret yandere. Federico is not even close to being like a main character. There's several episodes of that series which the Irish characters do not show up in, which also probably means that those ones have been taken up without reason because there would be no other concerns. But again, if there's something else that happened, I'll talk to Mania about that. But if it was just that one comment that suddenly was like, oh, well, you know, here this is. Because again, because actually, because I see people thought that that my actual performance of Federico, you know, that might have been racist until I explained that, you know, that I was actually, you know, making the character based on people that I actually grown up with.
yeah.
And I had no that's like no ill will towards them in the first place. And
Yeah.
being Spanish was not the reason that he was supposed to be funny.
I think one of the problems is that at this point, so many people have been outed as awful people that now whenever you see things, I think our minds now are just casually assuming the worst about them, where that might not have been the case before.
Yeah,
I think just
that's
because
the
so much.
problem, that, you know, people are just assuming the worst without much solid foundation.
Sure, but at the same time, I think it's a product really of just being burned so many times of the exact same thing happening, and it is a awful person.
Yeah, ultimately, Maida should not have to suffer or to delete a series that she left up for historical purposes for that reason. Like, it's not on Mania anything to do with what happened.
No, yeah, I mean, a lot of her stuff is already unlisted. I wouldn't be surprised if that was too, but I would have at least unlisted it at that point. I don't know about deleting it.
Yeah, I'm not sure because like Mystic Hills got unlisted. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
again,
Again, I haven't
remember that
checked on the
those
channel.
Mystic Hills you can only find through Jacob's channel because he has a link of the unlisted, because that's the only version of Mystic Hills that doesn't have a playlist of the unlisted videos public.
Yeah. Does Yandere have a unlisted players, or are they just straight up just all gone, like fully gone?
Let me see.
Yeah, because when people say they take down videos, they might just mean unlisted. It depends on the person.
Sure, yeah.
I was saying that mainly for the chat, not for you, and I know you know that.
Camp Yandere has a 13 video playlist. Yandere School has a 20 video playlist. Yandere Sim is 6 videos, but that's a gameplay series.
Yeah, pretty sure it was Yandere School. I mean, it could have been Yandere High School, but I mean, Yandere School, Yandere High School.
Yeah,
I'm seeing the same video.
Yeah, I'm seeing Yandere School and Camp Yandere.
Yeah, well, if under Yandere School, I'm the first name in the credits, I think that was that one. I don't know why I got credited first, actually.
It should be noted that these aren't even unlisted yet.
So then why if they... Huh?
Yeah, so it seems like she will remove these at some point, but as of right now, you can still go see them.
Oh, is it just like an Unus Annus deal where you're just saying, like, watch these while you can or something?
Maybe, or she just got busy or something, but...
She got busy. She got too busy to delete the videos, but not too busy to make a community post announcing the deletion of videos.
I think, well, because the community post, the way it's worded, is not an announcement of deleting the videos. It is an apology for racism. There's a different priority there. She's not marketing as like, hey, go see the rest. She's like, hey, I'm deleting these, but this is why.
Okay. Oh, good grief. Okay, right.
In
I'll
other
probably make
words, go get them while you can.
yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Well, fair
Or,
enough.
or she
Oh,
might
pardon
just
me.
unlist them. I don't know. That's what she did with Mystic Hills for most of them. Actually, all of them. It's just that one doesn't have a playlist that you can go to.
Yeah. Which, considering that is the option there, just to unlist stuff and not have a playlist, for the sake of archives, and that might be what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I will speak to her, and if I get more info, I don't know. I might make a separate video about it, because I've talked about when people have come after Mania in the past. I made videos about that. Trying to explain and contextualize that. So I might do that again, depending on the outcome of that conversation. It was also just 6 hours ago. Wow, a mere 6 hours to delete 20 videos. Who would ever have the time during that?
No, not 20 videos. 33 videos if you count Camp Yonder. Remember, and sequels. Which I'm only seeing one sequel, so I don't know why there's an S at the end of sequels.
Yeah,
but...
which, you know what? That's even weirder, because I wasn't in the sequel. So if it is the Federico situation, which again, I'll talk to Manny about this and see if that was the only thing. But if it is just that, then the sequel should be fine, because Federico was not a part of that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's here. Very first, well, sorry, okay, there's the intro. Very first real sentence. So I've been notified of some issues that require me to take down Yandere School and its sequels. I don't know, like, is there like a secret sequel that we didn't know? Is there like something connected to the universe that she's counting as a sequel?
That's a fair question, because yeah, the use of the plural there does imply something else. I mean, it might not be called Yandere. There might be some other name. I
Right,
will say
that's
I
what I'm
haven't kept the
saying. Is
most
it
up to
like
date
a
with actual
universe?
content. Yeah, mostly most I've either talked to the person or I've been in the server, but yeah, but I don't know. There could be. All of Mania stuff is all connected. There are plenty of reoccurring characters that will come in for different things. Yandere High School is actually the first example of that not happening, which is why I was so glad to make Federico in the first place, because otherwise I'd just be playing the same characters I was used to. Because, I mean, nowadays, people know me as a relatively versatile person. That's how I kind of brand myself as a voice actor. Back in 2018, that was not the case. I tended to get characters who mostly either sounded like me or were even posher than I am myself. So I was getting bored, quite frankly. So I did something that was the complete opposite of that, and also instead of being like overly serious, I became someone who was silly. Again, not because they were Spanish, but in spite of it.
Sure.
There's an important difference there. Okay, hold on. Because this is one of the previous messages was about the comment that I showed on screen. Let me just.
Was it the?
Oh, okay. I think when they say
Oh,
bigot, they mean bigots. Okay.
you are allowed to say bigot, by the way. That's not like a
I know.
slur or anything.
I know. Yeah, yeah. I'm
I'm
trying
saying that to
to.
Ghost Kitty
Oh, okay.
because they said I apologize if I'm not allowed to use that word. Yeah, everyone's allowed to use the word bigot. That's not like.
Yeah, because that's what I've heard it being used as. I never heard bigot. Wow. I mean, that makes the comment even less. I take the comment even less seriously now. Like.
Well, it's an accurate. Well, okay, it's an accurate word for what they're describing.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's it's kind of like calling somebody out and then calling them like a silly willy or something. Like
Yeah.
it's like oh that Wilbur Soot, that goofball. Like you wouldn't.
Right. Oh, that Wilbur Soot. Oh, man. And then it's like, hey, we're talking about like like a womanizer and abuser. It's like, oh, you silly little, oh, you little goofball.
Yeah, no, I'm Alex, more like I am Like that's it. That's what I mean. Yeah.
No, yeah, I guess I see your point. Yeah, bigot is an accurate word, but I guess racist does pack a does pack a bigger punch, doesn't it?
Anything packs bigger punch than Biggie, I guess. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I think. Oh, hold on. If they look at then it says teaching on the edge of hate comment because now they're actively attacked. Well, they were before. That was the whole point of the message. Was
No,
I hope
yeah,
you feel shame
I'm
for
not
this.
saying
Yeah.
they aren't attacking her, but hate comments I think are generally unfounded or cruel without reason for me to
Yeah.
consider them just hate comments, right?
Hmm. Again, I think there was reason behind the comment, but it was phrased cruelly. So I would count that as cruel without reason for that, just because of that. But yeah, goofy goober, exactly.
Oh man, Goofy Goober, you biting women.
All right. I think now the video should be ready.
It is
Man,
only on the Jacob Butter channel that you'll get a bit that funny about such a serious topic.
I hope I'm not the only one, but then again, as I've just mentioned before, we can we can be silly with no ill intent, just like Federico. What a surprise! Okay. Yeah, reason was there. They came off rather strong, and now, actually, you know what? Here's another thing. Speaking of Spanish characters, there we go. That's my segue. Without further ado, on with the review.
Yep.
A lovely evening.
There, don't focus too much on it, but it's hilarious.
Where I am from.
Hey, Madrid.
Exactly, and in fact, yeah, I myself used to live there.
No, that one's hilarious, Mon. I love that.
Cheeky chomper, yeah, exactly. The vibrant colors, the fiestas, it's just perfecto. How dare you use a Spanish word in your sentence? I'm coming after you now.
Oh, hi there.
What, are you not used to Majesty just showing up? That's always what happens. But then again, I am surprised. I guess I should point out that it's a bit awkward. No, jokes aside about what we mentioned earlier, going back into the actual video itself, I guess it is kind of weird how Priscilla's just like staring at the window and describing living, her city to absolutely no one.
I get that back facing hard, but if we want to get technical, she's not even looking out the window. She is staring just right in the middle of her living room and saying this.
Okay, sure, but the implication in the realms of Gacha is that that she's looking out the window.
Yeah, but isn't it funnier if she wasn't?
I guess. All right. Used too much power, that one, over 9,000 to be exact. Yes. I just is right.
She's come to save the day, everybody!
Oh, God. Okay. Moving on. Hello, Priscilla. Mama, you ruined the moment. There's lore we hadn't received before.
Yeah, what?
What is it? Oh, I should probably introduce myself. I'm Majesty, your new leader. Smooth as ever, Majesty.
Okay, so
always
that must have been
tactful there.
Well, she's used to kidnapping children, so she doesn't really care about the whole tact thing. So I'm assuming the mama in an obscene amount of dots was meant to be one of two things. Either she was meant to say, either she thought that Majesty sounded like her mother and then looked at Majesty and was like, oh no, or she was about to say Mamma Mia, and then but she was like, oh mama, like if you went mother and then you just trailed off.
Yeah. Okay, I will say that the in Madrid, Mamma mia is not a phrase. You say madre mia, which is the same thing, but mamma mia is more Italian than Spanish,
Oh, no,
usually.
that's absolutely Italian, but that's the only other alternative I can think of.
Okay. Well, for now, it seems. I don't think any of the Ballroom Pops are Italian, but I could be wrong. All right. She's pretty desperate after the ballet pop split. she's a she's a more desperate after the blues pops unfortunate separation at
Yeah,
sea.
she's so desperate that she's getting actual adults this time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's true. I think the Ballroom Pops are all adults. I believe. I mean, they originally were all on the on their a TV competition together. We didn't actually see any of their homes unless you count the Lost Kingdom of Blueberry, I think it was, which became Rose's home. I think it was Rose. I'm forgetting now. We'll find out in a second. We'll meet all the characters in a moment. Should replace the blues with the jazzies. These sound like gang names when you say them like that.
It does, but also I like God. Can jazz be blues like arch nemesis?
Well, I mean, we know they're not because the Jazz Pop Season 2 was all about finding the blues pops, so we're too late on that one, but
That would have been
yeah,
fun though.
there aren't really many like evil pops groups. Sometimes like people who are pops will end up getting like hypnotized in order to join the Bunglers or the Star Tribe or whoever happens to be the villain of the series. But for the most part, I don't think anyone's created an actual group of evil pops yet. There's evil Treat Pop, but again, Treat Pop herself is not part of a group, so I don't think that counts. Anyway, hold on, there's a comment from Ghost Kitty that I missed out again. Okay. All right. It's blues pops, ballet pops, ballroom pops, jazz pops. Yeah.
Oh my.
Indeed. Wait, you what? Look here. Okay, all right. This is where, again, putting on the Spanish hat again. Loco Lady is. I know what happened here. So what Jonny does in order to translate certain words, probably like based on I think there's a Monster High character who has this trait, like they'll sometimes like randomly.
Oh
say
yeah, wait a
words.
second. No, that's right. It's meant to be the other way around, isn't it?
Yes, that's one of the things. Not only that, but it's also meant to be loca because it's you're talking to a woman. So use the feminine version would be loca. So it would be Lady Loca. So that's the problem. So if you just replace one word, and you just go to Google Translate and I put that in, Google Translate will also default to the male version usually, and I think it will list the female version as like an alternative. That's usually how most dictionaries will do it as well. So yeah, that's already problem one, but then the second problem would be the order. Then again, the sentence makes no sense anyway. I'm certified in paso doble. Yeah, good luck with using that.
So, Bon, yes, loco can be used on its own, but in this case, it's clearly a descriptor for said lady.
Yeah, and and also we're forgetting the most famous example. Bella, where have you been, Loca? Oh, dance has nothing to do with this. You're going to be a superhero. Named after a style of dance, but actually has a lot to do with this, but moving on. So this is already different, because in the original Ballroom Pops, they'd all already met each other, but they also received their calling to be Pops on the TV competition itself. I actually kind of like that change because, yes, the meme of Majesty breaking into people's houses and, demanding they become superheroes will never not be funny. I stand by that. However, the fact that Ballroom Pops originally subverted that for the most part was one of the things that I liked about that show. Not the only thing, but certainly one of them. It's a good thing you know Paso Doble, for that is your pop name, Paso Pop. Oh, I guess you decided those before talking. Okay, I thought that, again, considering that the styles of dance that they were named after were sort of the ones they were either proficient in or ones that would come up in the ballroom competition, it made sense for them to be named after them during the ballroom competition. But yeah, and also bear in mind that Majesty normally doesn't actually choose the pop names herself. That usually comes in whenever they transform for the first time. Think Crystal Pop in episode 1, for example. You're you're making me un poco loco. Yeah. Well, actually, another thing, but in that's in Spanish, you would say, instead of hacerme loco, it'd be volverme loco, which would be to turn me crazy. Again, that's yeah. For the most part, the un poco loco part is fine. Okay. Why would I want to be a pop? A very good question.
You might get a lot of money.
Yeah, but again, she's going. If we stick with the competition, which I don't know if is still going to be a thing at this point, but if we do stick with the competition, that would sort of come along with that, right? They become famous and they get a bunch of money.
Okay, read this next bit. I have a comment about it.
Okay. You get to sing songs, fight bad guys, and make new friends.
I love how you're describing this like it's a dating app or something. I'm signing up for a karaoke dating app.
Oh my goodness.
That's what's happening here. This is your sales pitch. This isn't a recruitment.
Yeah. Okay, this is correct. Priscilla hora de cenar, which means Priscilla dinner time. That's 100% correct.
Is that meant to be the thought, like an internal monologue?
I'm pretty sure that was her mother calling her from off screen. Jonny doesn't do the thing where you'll hide a gacha character at the bottom of the screen so the speech bubble shows up. I'm actually grateful that Jonny is one of the people who actually does use the narrator function because it's very underappreciated. I'll say that much. Oh, my cue to leave. Don't tell your friends or family you are a pop.
He did not agree.
Yeah, and also I don't think she ever received like a pop ring or anything, so how is she supposed to become a pop at all? Like, that was part of the exchange. To transform, say, Ballroom Pops Let's Cha-Cha. I actually don't remember them saying that in the original, but I don't think they had an activation phrase before, so that's a good addition. Yeah, she hasn't even said yes yet. Majesty never waits for them to say yes. Again, even in Super Pops episode 1, that's exactly what happens. Yeah.
Majesty's not used to adults with autonomy.
No, I suppose not. She's more used to, forging acceptance letters to Baywood Academy, which is an actual plot point in the original Totally TV version. Good luck, and may destiny always be on your side.
And I am Destiny. If you disobey me, I'll come for you and your family.
Yeah. Oh, excelente. Yeah. I hate my brain because it was just so I want to be a pop, my mind went to pop soda, so I thought I wanted to be a soda. Introducing the new group, the Soda Pops. You have Fanta Pop, Trina Pop, and the twins Coca and Cola Pop, alongside Pepsi Pop. Oh, there you go. Priscilla, did you hear what I said? It's time for dinner, my little chica. My little chica. Okay. Here's another thing as well.
She's also not that little. You guys are like at eye level.
Well, okay. You know how like parents will say, "Oh, yours be my little girl, my little boy, my little whatever." It's that kind of idea. That being said, in Spanish, the way this would be said is the use of diminutives. So because sometimes you'll hear in Spanish will say things like ito, illo, ita, illa, etc. Those are meant to show something is small, usually cute, but that's the idea. So in this case, in this case, you would say my chiquita, which would just mean little girl in this case. So rather than just saying little chica, it's kind of like at odds with itself. Whoever wrote this dialogue needs a raise. I will say I will I'm tempted to take credit for one thing in the progression of new Pops content in the franchise, and that is the continued calling out of Majesty for the stuff that she does. Because beforehand, that was never really addressed, and then I started making a bunch of jokes on Gacha Review, and then suddenly every single time Majesty's introduced, it's like, hang on a second, wait a minute, no, we need to establish some boundaries, lady. Pretty much how that goes. Oh, so it was in the original. Okay, I don't remember the activation phrase. Then fair enough. But yeah, I heard you, Mama. No accent on the A, but close. Well, hurry up. It'll get cold if you keep lingering around like that. Oh, also, by the way, another thing people will say is mummy, as in, M-A-M-I. That's usually a endearing term for a mother. So instead of mama, you can say mama, or you can say mummy. That also works. Yeah. Jacob is the reason autonomous characters exist. I wouldn't go that far. I just mean in that sense, I can see a direct correlation.
It's not that. They would have been autonomous. The problem is she keeps getting toddlers off the street. So autonomy's not really a thing to worry about.
To clarify, Majesty recruited one toddler one time, and that got retconned in the future.
Well...
It did. It got retconned.
Okay.
Even though now we have a 22-year-old going to high school, but, it was still a retcon.
Here's the thing. The fact that she did it once makes you wonder how many pops she's had in the past.
Well, considering that was the pop group that ended up, being, almost dying at sea, I think she learned from that mistake at the very least.
Yeah, don't send them out at sea. Not. She didn't learn don't get toddlers. She learned don't send them on a boat.
Okay, I mean, they're not mutually exclusive, I guess. You could have thought to yourself, well, maybe I shouldn't be risking the lives of people who are this young. Maybe slightly older instead.
Yeah, let's go for the tweens this time.
There we go. Okay.
It's an upgrade.
Maybe Ballroom Pops are the replacement for the Blues Pops, because Majesty then pivoted in the opposite direction. Also, hello, Vin. Yes, Mama. So, anything exciting happened, Prissy? Okay, so I think this is not her dad, but this is Carlos, who I think was supposed to be a dance partner originally. Might be a sibling in this case, if they're dining together as a family. I don't know. And this is one of the characters that I auditioned for. In fact, I believe I gave him this voice. Another one of my Spanish accents, but one that is a bit more smooth than Federico.
I like how none of the chairs are consistent, and they're all smaller than the kitchen.
They're not consistently colored, but they are at least the same make, let's say. That being said, it is just the one thing that I'm distracted by is not necessarily the color of the chairs, because you might think, okay, maybe there's more like a fun set of different style chairs or whatever, and the table they got at a separate furniture store. Whatever. What I'm more concerned about is how tiny they are in relation to the rest of the kitchen. Do they live in a house with giants? Did Jax Penwell direct this part of the episode?
I did already mention that.
Okay, sorry, that was because I was paired up with the table and chairs and stuff, so I must have missed that. But yeah, okay, so we talked about. So yeah,
they're quite small. Yeah, I don't know how they cook. I don't know how they made this meal that they're about to eat. Actually,
with a ladder, I think the reason this came about, I'm pretty sure, is because Jonny isn't in the habit of resizing Gacha characters, despite the fact that in Gacha itself, backgrounds have different sizings relative to each other. So if you want to use a background like this, personally, I tend to avoid this kind of backgrounds because you can't really see the ceiling, and I'd like to get the full image of the room, but that's just me. But if you do want to use them, then usually, again, it requires a bit of a rescaling in order to do so. And also having the characters mainly be in the foreground, because if they are to scale in the background, most countertops go up to a person's torso, usually, or at least mine, so then they would be like off the frames. That's another issue, I suppose. So there's a happy medium in there somewhere. Anyway, why are you acting nervous? Where is said food that will get cold if you linger here any longer? It's currently also lingering.
Oh God! Imagine. Oh,
I found a
nothing, Mama
super
and
can get the
Papa.
toy helicopter. Get me out.
Okay, Jesus, man. Okay, so we've seen Priscilla quite frightened. Well, sorry, nervous, I'm sure is what the intent is, because she doesn't want to spill the big secret. I think
Yeah.
we need to address everything that's happened so far. She's looking out the window or looking in the middle of the living room, you know, depending on if you want to go the funnier route or not.
Mm-hmm.
And she's talking to herself. She thinks she hears her mother's voice, and then she turns around and sees some random woman who teleported suddenly into her room, gave her a sales pitch, and said, "Hey, good, I already decided your pop's name. Why would I want to be a pop? Doesn't matter. This is your pop's name. This is what you do. By the way, don't tell your family and friends. Bye now." And now, and now she's sitting at dinner, and her parents are asking, "Hey, why are you so quiet?" After being told, "Don't you tell anybody." What do you think is going through her head right now? She must be horrified. A magical hitman just came into her home.
I would be horrified too, I'm not gonna lie. I think we encountered that situation in one of the games we were going to play on the Butter Bunch, right? That just out of nowhere, a bunch of Greek gods start showing up into this one musician's life, and she had just a debate whether to tell people or
Oh,
not.
yeah. Yeah,
That
the
was literally
stray god.
one of the choices, and we had to, all three of us were like, okay, what do we do here? Because there are many consequences one way or the other.
Yeah. I wish there was more choice in that game. I want to play the DLC at some point, because that one has a big marketing thing in the description where it's like, "Hey, and now that you're free from the fates or whatever." So I'm hoping maybe we can get some alternate endings for that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. It's like, now what do you want to do? I guess. Yeah, that's fair. All right. So, I don't even remember what I was so inspired by that. I also was going to do a series about, living amongst giants at one point. Well, Aiden and I were going to. Yeah, that one never went anywhere, unfortunately. But yeah, it's one thing I've considered going back to at some point, actually, because I do like the idea of trying to balance the idea of using giants and how to play with the different scales between them. But anyway,
That is one of my biggest complaints in Epic the Musical, by the way, referring to like Poseidon's Island as like the land of the giants, because that's a Norse thing, not a Greek thing. The
yeah,
Greeks have a giant equivalent, but a giant is Norse.
yeah, and also the giants of Greek mythology aren't that big. They're not that gigantic.
Oh yeah, no. In Norse mythology, there's one version of the story where like the entire world is made of the bones of a single giant.
I remember I was in a museum, either in Paris or Berlin, I forget which one, because it was that same collective trip. There was actually just like an engraving of all of the gods during the Gigantomachy. And I was like, well, if you hadn't told me they were fighting giants, I would not have known, because they are the same height.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure. It's kind of like where in modern media Vikings are huge, but in reality they were just modern size. It's just that modern was large for those people.
yeah. Okay. Again, we mentioned what a skit of if I were in a Gacha Pop series. There is that, yeah. At some point, one of the things I also want to do is parody pops. I think I'm going to play a bit more on BandLab, actually, to see if I can actually recreate some instrumentals and not get copyrighted for them. Then again, I would be uploading on a separate channel anyway, so it wouldn't matter monetization-wise, but whatever. So about 5th anniversary is coming up, we can do it for that. That's true. In fact, I will remind people that Eli is preparing a tribute to Super Pops at some point, so if anyone wants to send any contributions in, contact Eli about that before the 27th. Bon, I'm in your brain. My name is Morning Frost. I'm speaking inside your mind, Bon, and I'm pushing the button to tell you to make that skit. There you go. Oh, okay. Also, yeah, I guess Mama and Papa. So this is her dad. This isn't Carlos. Okay, fair enough. I just thought I had a competition tomorrow. Okay, so is the TV competition just not happening? Was this like the inciting incident? Like after this competition, she gets scouted or something? Because I'm kind of worried that's not going to be in this version. Because that's one of the aspects I really enjoyed about the previous one. You mean the one in the Reino Unido? Or Undio. The Reino Undio, not Unido. Oh my goodness.
We aren't doing this on Discord, Senpai. In no world is downloading Discord on your laptop going to help with your internet connection.
Yeah, also, yeah, I mean, would you know, because obviously you've used Restream before, it's not done via Discord. That being said, I guess that means you can click the link and you can use it on your laptop if I send it to you via Discord, so I guess that would kind of work. Also, General John McNamara. I was trying to do Morning Frost from Once Upon a Witchlight. General John McNamara will be kind of like this. We could have been the rules, but for you, Paul. Morning Frost is like this kind of voice for some reason, like a little bit more in the back of the nasal passage. That's my interpretation, at least. Anyway. See, Papa. I'm gonna send a link, and I'm gonna test. I'm gonna have the good faith that Sense by Buns will somehow manage this. Let's see. Oh, never mind. Hold on, Moggy Mike's still here.
Sorry?
Going, so. Well, Moggy Mike was going to join beforehand, and then didn't.
Oh, okay.
So
I was like, has Moggy been sitting like the back rooms this whole time?
Oh no.
Man. Sometimes I just say statements about Norse mythology, and it's like, man, that whole religion goes so hard. The entire world from bones of a giant. That's so sick. That's so cool.
All right. Okay, if Moggy Mike doesn't show up, then Sense by Buns, the spot's yours. We'll see.
This might be Bon, I can't boot them from this. Only Jacob has access to do that. This isn't my restream room.
Also, usually if Sense by Buns can't show up, then they'll just crash anyway, so the job is done for me. Anyway, well, this might be a great transition to tell you this then. We're moving to the UK! What a natural way to fit that in. It's like, by the way, like, obviously I've been through this before where it's like, okay, we're moving to a different country or whatever, but like, twice in fact. But, I mean, in both cases, they sat us down and went through, things a little bit more smoothly than this. It's like, by the way, we're moving. Anyways, how do you like your eggs?
Yeah.
If you can reach the counter and get them, of course. This kind of sounds like the Shire music, actually. Anyway, that way we can teach the Passadoble to those unfortunate. Unfortunate in the UK? What do you mean, musically untalented? Is that what you're trying to say about us Brits?
Yeah, that's it. I love the idea of going to a different country just to show off against the natives.
Mm-hmm. You laugh at a Spanish person for being funny, just funny, but but this gets a pass. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The clip cuts there. Yeah. Anyway, I will say British dancing, if you're talking about club dancing specifically, is absolutely atrocious in relation to most other countries. Just watch Emily Atack stand up for that, for more knowledge on that. But still,
I have no
wouldn't go
idea how
that
to
far.
dance. I don't know it. I don't know that I can really fathom a non-awkward form of casual dancing.
I am well. Here's non-awkward form: dance while everyone else around you is drunk. They won't care.
That's true. Yeah.
It's still a bit good job of my time reviewing this. Oh, sorry, no, that's the sorry, that needs context. Never mind. And you'll be able to make new amigas, sweetie. Okay, so that gets feminized. Although now I'm wondering if, because that's like specifically female friends. Like amigos can also be gender neutral, because that's how it's like worked in Spanish language until recently. That the male version is also the gender neutral version if there is any combination. And amigas would be specifically female. Nowadays, actually, very recently, in like the past few years or so, they're starting to try to popularize more gender neutral conjugations of things in order to accommodate for non-binary people, but that's very new. So yeah, amigas has never been gender neutral. So now it's like you can make new female friends and no boys, because I'm Sylvana now apparently, and that's my characterization. What about Issa? She'll probably miss me. I'm not sure if my best friend presumably will miss me, but she probably will, We can visit her during the holidays. Okay, Papa. Mika, you're giving us that look again. Don't turn it into attitude. Sorry, I read that as don't turn it into attitude, like attitude pop from the ballet pops. Never mind. Don't turn it into attitude.
I
I mean,
like this. Right? She just looks sad. What do you mean
exactly,
attitude?
yeah. As far as the expressions go, yeah, for once we can actually talk about Jonny's expressions, and yeah, he's used one in here, but it doesn't look like attitude. It's more of a case of like, oh no, my entire livelihood has been uplifted in a single conversation. Just the right to look at least a little bit, down in the dumps about it, so to speak.
Right? It's like I love this mother's first instinct. Oh no, my daughter is incredibly sad that her entire life is ending. I'm going to tell her to stop that attitude now. She better respect me in my house.
After I confidently said with a very quick smile that we're moving, and no preparation time. I know. Also, apparently they've got mixed pronouns in French too. That is good to know. There's no sign of attitude, that's a sign of depression. Get that girl someone to talk to, not making herself approachable, mammy. See, there you go, that's how you spell it. Yeah.
Oh, depression, that's a bit extreme. But definitely not please. She definitely seems sad.
Yeah, it seems like Moggy Mike hasn't joined, so yeah, Sensei Buns, I will send you that link, because yeah, nothing's happening. Right, well, let's see. It's either going to be failed attempt at connecting number 3, or it's or we're actually going to have more than 2 seconds to talk to Sense by Buns outside of chat.
Sure. Her chat, I say her. What are you?
What are you? What are you? We'll ask that when they join. I just be
Sure.
yeah. It's just sudden, Mama. I'm fine. Well, let's eat. And then your mom and I have a competition to go to. Oh, so they get to go to a competition, but yet the main character who was competing in the original version doesn't. Okay, I see how it is. I see. a couple of months later. Okay, Priscilla, you know English. They probably don't know Spanish, but you got this, I hope. Solid assumption, I guess, there, because yeah, the level of Spanish that's taught I guess in most schools, if you're not taking A level, not exactly the highest, not the lowest either, but no, it's rough, is what I'm getting at.
By the way, Bon, of mice and
As
men.
English in Spain. Hmm?
Of mice and men.
Oh, you're okay. There we go. All right. As of movie 2. Apparently it was after movie 2. There you go. What was I saying? No, forgot now. Oh, yes. This is what I'm going to mention. So, there's a thing in fiction called the translation convention, where if characters who are who was of a like a different nationality or speaking in a different country or something just speak to each other in the language of of the whatever thing is you're watching, so English in this case, it's understood that they're speaking to each other in their native language, or whichever one's appropriate, rather than having to record full conversations and then subtitle them. I think that's mostly done because most directors will not be fluent in the language of whatever they're speaking in. But hey, sometimes it's just easier for people not to have to read subtitles over and over again. I think the show Narcos has a bit of an issue with that potentially, because I've watched like a couple episodes of Narcos, and yeah, a lot of it is subtitled for that very reason. Because even though I honestly was not sure when my brother showed me Narcos whether or not I was watching a Spanish dub of a show. It turns out no, I wasn't, because then they cut to the police and they speak in English. It's like, oh, I see now why it's been subtitled the whole time. Now I get it. Yay, a new friend! Wendy, wake up! Good grief, imagine being a new kid and suddenly a random person comes in and hugs you from behind, screaming at you. After Majesty, for no less. Anyway, excuse my sister, she'll be very happy when she sees someone new. If I remember correctly, didn't Pinkie Pie do the same thing in the MLP and Disco Pops crossover? I think that was what happened. I'm not sure anymore. Oh, okay. So Priscilla Lopez. Okay, I like this because actually, originally, her name was Priscilla Pasodoble, and that is 100% my fault because what happened was when Jonny was making the original series, that was when he was still doing his live streams, where he would make the characters in real time and decide a lot of aspects and stuff based on what people said to him in the chat. So I happened to catch one of these. I caught some of the Discord ones before, but I wasn't able to say much because by that point I was still, to this day, I never caught up with Disco Pops, but I was very behind by then, so I didn't say much. But in the case of Ballroom Pops, put out all the stocks. I came with Priscilla Pasodoble all at once, but I didn't realize that Jonny was looking for names that or based on like dance, the types of dance and there's ballroom dances that for the pop forms, not the civilian forms. So he approved of Priscilla Pasodoble, only to find out later that she was be Paso Pop. So it's actually a very bad secret identity. Actually, it wasn't very subtle at all. It's the naming equivalent of the Clark Kent glasses, basically. So I like that we actually did get this change, and to a very common Spanish last name, which is Lopez. In fact, one of the most known parody superheroes, a full ripoff of Superman, is literally Super Lopez. So unintentionally, Jonny has made a very good Spanish pop culture reference. Also, if you remember what I said about Federico towards the beginning of the stream, and this one, I have a habit of pitching Spanish characters, apparently. Which, now that I think about it, also, I guess, includes Senor Sand. That's gonna be interesting to rewatch. Anyway. Priscilla Lopez is in the daughter of Maria and Carlos Lopez? Oh, so his name was Carlos. Okay, I thought for some reason that Carlos was like what was the dance partner. Okay, I guess he was just, Priscilla's dad. Okay. I think it's because he looks so young, but again, Gacha can be very misleading when it comes to characters' ages. How do you know my parents? We grew up watching them on the telly. Okay. Jonny's doing his research here, using telly as a abbreviation for television. They inspired us to do ballroom dancing. Oh, I didn't know that Mi Familia was popular in the UK. Okay, so here, her saying like random Spanish words makes a lot more sense because, because if she says she's switching to English now, then she would be struggling a bit more. That part kind of makes sense. Hey girls, didn't you know who said we were getting a new member? Oh, okay, hold on. Sorry. Recalibrating the brain here to account for this sentence. Hey girls, didn't you know who say we were getting a new member? There we go. All right. Okay, thanks for joining, Bon.
Oh.
And you're welcome.
Oh, I see where this one's heading.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think we've met you, new girl. What's your name? This is like episode 1 of Super Pops, actually. Where, they do that. Well, actually, to be fair, they know because of the first scene what their new member is going to look like. And what her name is. So when she shows up later, they can be like, "Oh yeah, it was you the whole time." It's like, "Oh yeah, you're the Super Pops." Wait, we could keep that on the DL,
Has Sensby appeared?
Just now, actually, like 2 seconds ago. So yeah, hello, Sense by Buns. Let's see if this works.
Okay, before we proceed, let's give a small test to how good the connection.
You gotta set up a better mic.
Or just a mic. I can't hear anything.
No, they're speaking, but it's so I can't tell what they're saying, but I can tell they're saying words.
I'm gonna maximize the volume then.
Can you hear me?
A little bit. You sound like you're whispering, but I did put you at max volume. I don't know. Anyway. I don't think girl. What's your name? I don't think we've met new girl. Instead of, I don't think we've met, new girl. I think all of his designs for the girls look adorable. Yeah, dare I say that there's a hand of a few recognizable designers, I suppose. And the fact that a lot of them have head accessories makes me suspect who precisely might be behind this, but what do I know? Are you crazy, Melissa? That's Priscilla Lopez. I mean, I will say, the offspring of famous parents don't always have the same are not always as recognizable as their parents. It depends. I actually I went to Lipa with with this guy who is the son of an actress who used to be on EastEnders,
Oh,
amongst
Kitty, I
several other
was
things, but she's
was just
mainly known
listening.
as this one character from EastEnders. And yeah, like there's a few situations where like he talked about like specific people like following him and his mother, mainly I think it was like one paparazzi photo or something, or like several articles that were about them together or something, but it usually was in company. Like I'm pretty sure that when he's like on his own, no one seems to make the connection. In fact, the day that I first met him, and everyone else, I remember that one one of the other girls that we were with in the same group said like, "Oh yeah, didn't we see like so and so from EastEnders?" And I was like, "She was waiting in the lobby before." I've never watched EastEnders, so I didn't clock that at all. It's like, oh well, okay, fair enough. It's like, no way. They said the other was like, what was that going on? And then suddenly someone was like, go to that other guy's like, yeah, say who your mother is. So and so from EastEnders, says the guy. So then that's where the connection was. So yeah, from that source, I think most people would be at least excused not recognizing Priscilla Lopez, the daughter of Maria and Carlos Lopez. Anyway. One of the the John's doing the pop form made from Ballroom Pops a while ago. Well, there you go. I can't hear Sense by Buns at all.
Guys, am I still unhearable?
You're less unhearable, but it's
you are
a struggle.
hearable.
It's a struggle, but it's not impossible.
Okay. This story is actually very interesting because it's a French ballet, I think, and her parents are famous figures, and no one recognized her at school except everyone recognized her now.
French.
So,
well, I mean, she's only interacted with these three people who happen to presumably be all Ballroom fans. Also, she's Spanish and not French.
Yeah, this isn't French at all.
okay, I always get mixed up between French and Spanish.
I don't know, man. I've read a lot of House of Leaves, and there's a lot of Spanish and French in there, and I feel like I read one more fluid than the other.
Which one do you read more fluid?
Spanish.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I didn't do anything. I think I think they actually just disconnected again. Right.
All right. Well.
Her parents are like legendary in the ballroom world, which you are, I guess, a part of, we assume. Oh, now I remember you two talking about her. Oh, so she's not like super into ballroom. Okay, again, this is an interesting contrast because it seems like they're not adults. So I guess Majesty is still going after the teens, I suppose. So instead of them being in the competition together, they are all they're just meeting in a regular, like, British secondary school. I don't know, so that's slightly a bit more underwhelming than like the original setting from before. I remember that there's another gacha critic out there called Gingerbread, who's doing a series called Ginger Rated. And one of the things that gets mentioned at the beginning of almost every review of hers was whether or not the show's set in a high school or not, because she is just super bored of high school stuff. I thought at one point of sending her Mutant Girl, but then I thought like, wait a minute. Will she be happy about the high school stuff, or just not wanted something else?
Honestly, you'd probably click off.
Yeah, again, it was well, I mean, she does tend to watch the whole thing at the very least. Her style is more so like very, very quick commentary at the towards the middle when watching the actual clips of a full season of something, and then at the beginning and the end talking about as a general overview. So it's a different review style.
I love it. You at the very beginning, it's like, oh, this is pretty good, and then you hit the middle where the remakes stop, and it's like, oh no.
Well, I mean, that would be what happens nowadays. Sorry, I think I was considering sending her that setting up Mutant Girl like when it was before Rumors even happened. Actually, back when season 1 had just wrapped up. I need to get myself a glass of water or something. I'm losing my voice now. One moment. Dying.
Before he was talking about how ungrateful he was for his VA roles, and now look at him, can't even talk properly. My laptop, it suddenly said, "You are backstage." What's that all about? It means you disconnected. The backstage is the waiting queue to be brought in. Yeah, you disconnected like a minute or two ago. That wasn't like that's not new. I guess it was just slow on your end. Yeah. I hate everything. You guys know. So I have this weird quirk. So every time I sit down at OBS, and I'm about to start like a video, or I'm about to start a stream or do a line, I always yawn before clicking start recording or stream. I don't know why. I can't stop it, and I really wish I could. Because I'll have you know, if I were in a professional voice acting environment in a room, I am concerned that my mind would go into that immediate instinct, and shortly before doing like some big animated film or whatever, I'm like, oh, and it's like, yo.
Well, they're not going to keep that in the movie. If
I
that,
know,
if that
but it
happens.
would be really awkward to be in the booth, and it's like, all right, I'm ready. Oh, hang on. Oh.
I'll be honest, like a lot of voice actors have very weird rituals that they do beforehand, so that you would
I'm not even purposely doing it. It just happens.
Exactly. So there's not a problem. It's okay. they would understand.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not bored. I swear.
Yeah, they probably would assume that you were tired. I don't know. And they got again. Okay. I'm not saying said you are backstage. What's that all about? Probably if I didn't like let you in beforehand because I was away.
It was after they crashed.
Oh, okay.
What happens is if it registers that your thing is out, it'll just automatically reset you back to the backstage.
I love that they talked about the daughter of two famous people in this context. Like, oh yeah, it's like, I know that she does like apparently competitions herself, but the fact that she's always described as like the daughter of Carlos and Maria means that they're definitely the famous ones. So I guess they might have just gone out of their way to support like the close relatives of the people they admire. I don't know. Just sneaking around, nothing to see here. Yeah, the more you say that, Sven, the more you say that.
Oh no!
Person you mentioned.
Did you ever watch Salmon Cat, or is it just something you're aware of?
I have watched a number of episodes of Salmon Cat.
You remember that one episode
of
Salmon Cat where Sam, in her natural threatening nature, does like that classic thing in drama where you like repeat something twice, except the second time it's like slower and more ominous or whatever. And then Kat's like, "Why'd you say it twice?" And then she's like, "Because it's more dramatic." Because it's more dramatic. And that was a bit for like the whole episode where she would just keep saying things twice, and Kat would be thoroughly confused.
I can imagine that happening. The victim has escaped, but not for long. The void always catches its prey. You're going back to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo. Oh, okay. We've got 2 Sense by buns now. I think they're testing out.
How did that happen?
they're testing out which it's like the Hydra. When one crashes, two come in its place.
Man, we're about to crash restream.
What's up, guys?
Oh, I hate that I can see both of your things moving.
Is this your way to sound louder? To just have two microphones to amplify yourself?
Perfect solution, man.
You know, and the worst part is it actually is louder.
It works.
I mean, you'll definitely crash here in a second, but this is amazing. You fixed the audio problem, I'll tell you that much.
And the funny thing is, when you guys talk, I can hear the devil as well.
Oh.
Yeah, that's probably because you're on two devices.
Let's go.
The fact there's not even like any delay between them, it's just like it's perfect. It's perfectly in sync.
It's great, yeah. Well, there's a slight echo, but not as much as I was expecting.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Also, no, I
on.
did just check the stream because I always have the stream on the side in case I have to ban anybody. It's still going on my end, so I think you just have to reload YouTube.
Playing like rabbits. It's fun.
Okay.
Anyways, back to the main show, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. How do you know her? Are you a bungler? No, she's literally the new member. You've been told there's a new member, and someone shows up and asks about a new member and says it's that Majesty. Clearly, she's the new member, not a bungler. What do you mean? Unless you already know that.
What
Yeah,
a
funny
stupid
that.
name.
What name was that?
Bungler. It's such a dumb name.
Oh, well, yeah, like that. That's from Tony TV. That was the original name of the, the troupe as created by Dr. Kittens.
Also, why? Also, no. So this isn't just a random school, because now the mom is here.
Well, I think she's there to like enroll Priscilla, I guess, or drop her off on the first day. I don't know. Now I don't know how old she is even. So who knows?
Did this girl just got jumped by 4 of her colleagues in the first day of school?
Well, 3 of them and her mum, but yeah. What team are they talking about, Mika? Oh,
wait, her mum is here? What?
Yeah, her mum is the one on the right.
Oh my god, she is
The one that
stalking
looked
on her, I
incredibly
guess.
similar.
Yeah, again, it's very hard to portray ages in Gacha, but yeah, there's definitely a huge difference here. A dance club, yeah, your daughter's a new member of our dance club, even though she's been at school for a minute. That doesn't make any sense, but we're gonna go with it.
It reminded me of anime when the main character become too strong too fast.
Yeah. Although that's actually a lot of high school anime where the main character will join a club on the first day. My little Chica is part of a dance club? Unlike the competition we sent her to, we never put her in a group before, I guess. I'm so proud of you, honey. So you'll be okay with her living with the 3 of us? Whoa, wait a minute. When did this get established? So...
Man, she has no choice in this whole pop situation.
So not
She did not bring this up. Magical Hitman shows up in her room. She can't utter a word of it to her parents, and then she sees 2 random kids, goes up to them to start a new conversation, have nice new friends, gets cornered because now there's a 3rd one that showed up behind her. Turns out they're working with the Magical Hitman. And now she's going to be forced to live with them for all of eternity.
Just look at her facial expression. She's like, what is even going on? I do not get paid enough for this.
No, she's like I'm gonna be I have the most poker face of all time, even though I'm crying internally. This, by the way, is the reason that I don't like most Chosen One stories anymore. Because eventually at some point I was like, wait a minute, people just keep on choosing these people for stuff, and it's like, well, why? But anyway. So I guess not only she has her entire family moved, but now she's not even going to stay with them. Sure.
Are you getting absorbed by aliens or something? What's going on back there?
Well, I think it's now the echoes come into play.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I just keep I'm hearing like beep, 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 but it's very ominous sounding.
It's because it keeps like feedbacking like back and forth. That's usually what it is. Anyway, of course she can live with you girls, even though I guess. Oh, so they're asking for her permission now, rather than saying as an outright fact, as if this was planned from the start. So this wasn't planned, but they're like, yeah, we're a dance group, so she lives with us now. That's dance group rules, I guess.
Man, this is highly concerning.
Maybe you can also teach them how to basso on your own. Assuming that they're
Guys, I would like to
group,
inform you that I'm now not a multiplied person anymore.
Oh well. It was fun while it lasted.
Exactly.
Okay, well,
and
the double
she does not like
this.
this.
Yeah. Your father and I will always be available if you need anything.
Oh no.
Microwave mod. Kitty is so funny.
Okay, Mom, I love you.
This is her last time saying I love you to her mom from her perspective. She's such a grim episode.
She doesn't even get to pack her things.
Oh my god, this is such a depressing episode.
Like, at least go back to the place and, like, get your suitcases or something that you presumably haven't unpacked fully yet because you just moved to the UK.
I don't know if her mom is unsupportive or, like, I'm not feeling this mom right now.
I mean, she's supportive of her daughter making friends and rooming with strangers. Should she be supportive of that? No.
Okay, sure, but also the daughter didn't even ask. Let's clarify here. The daughter at no point requested this either. It was the strangers requesting it.
Oh my goodness.
Why did her
mother is just delulu and can't see any problems whatsoever? Maybe Prissy's mom would have been better as a pop. She doesn't question anything.
Yeah, she would have been nice and obedient. Okay, it's a good thing because that's your pop name. Oh, cool.
Obedient pop. I do know that nice pops are another part of the franchise, I think. I forget who made them. I think it was Jonny originally as well.
Okay, Mama, I love
you too, sweetie.
Oh, sweetie.
And this was the other male character that was available for audition originally. Dr. Kittens. aka, well, I guess he's Dr. Ruin currently. I forget what, he got an outfit change during that time. But anyway, again, one of the characters I can actually do a decent impression of. Those ballet pops are ruining our plans. I just hope my sister didn't make another group. Which I'm saying now, even though that could happen at any point.
Sister
I just so happened to be correct.
Need to be capitalized.
No, it didn't. Anyway, well, please don't do these people. They're taking away my free will. Cecilia? It was
Mom,
Priscilla. That's her name.
Man, she's sitting here wondering, is this what happened to my sister? I haven't seen her in so long.
Yeah, that's what happened to Cecilia. That Cecilia's the unseen sister of Priscilla. We're gonna get a different
taking all the kids. Man, the
protect the
parents just
kids.
sitting here like, hey, isn't it crazy how all of our children disappear?
Yeah, this is fine.
I
Anyway.
mean, to be fair, Cecilia Lopez had a mysterious girl calling herself Majesty popping out of nowhere in her room. So, like, she's nothing
No, this
surprises her
isn't
anymore.
Cecilia. Her
It's
name is
Priscilla.
not Cecilia.
But yeah, like, that was the start of her problems, and that didn't get any better from there.
It only went downhill from there.
Yeah.
There's something.
Famous last
okay.
words, I guess.
A god out there decided, it'd be the funniest idea, gang. If the last words I make them say on stream are "and things only got worse from there."
Priscilla's mum was the opposite of Silvana. What happened if you looked at the room together? Well, I mean, she did specify amigas and not amigos, so she might be a bit like Silvana in the sense of not wanting any boys. And she goes to mija as well, which for the record is more of a Latin American thing to do than a Spanish from Spain thing to do. Not impossible, but yeah, it's more common on the other side of the globe. Anyway, good morning, UK, which no one says, by the way. It's usually good morning, Britain, for the record. This is the behind the scenes news group.
Good morning, Kingdom.
Recording from the Matrix, apparently. Floating in a digital void. Or Sector 5 from Code Lyoko. We begin with our top story. Majesty has created a new super pop group based in the UK.
Oh no.
She probably shouldn't have made a public announcement before the group have actually set out yet.
There were no contracts signed at any point during this, might I add.
No one ever signs a contract with Majesty. Their contract is, is like signed in blood the moment that like they get their pop rings, which Priscilla didn't receive, by the way.
It's like, so there's a satirical video out there that I watched a while back. I think it's called like Let's Hope Adobe or whatever. Which of course Adobe is now being sued by our government actually because of their recent scandals, but which is what sparked this. And so it's the whole bit is that it's a character as like a shady businessman who's gonna go help Adobe, but all the help is also evil. But to sign the contract, he's like, and to verify that you agree to all the terms and conditions, you just need to audibly hear this. And then he finishes off the contract. He's like, oh no, you heard all of it. I guess you agree, and then takes away the contract.
Yeah, that makes sense. This new group called the Ballroom Pops will be joining the Ballet Pops in the battle. Just not even the battle against somebody. No, just the battle. Everyone knows the battle, right?
Yeah, this is Alan Wake feeding into the mortal realm again, and he's like, "Help me against the darkness, the eternal war between light and dark. Save me."
No wonder he had burnout as a writer, if that's what he came up with.
God, but no, it is just the same concept though, where it's just, hey, the bad. This is Alan Wake. He's somehow ran himself back in for just like 5 minutes for a 1 minute for like a 5-minute news report to get a message out. That's what happened here.
We go now to our reporters outside Baywood Academy for more information. Baywood Academy, to remind everyone, is the name of the academy in Super Pops. The one that's set in California and not the UK. But sure, we'll go to Baywood. Maybe that's because that's where Majesty is based, even though, again, she's based there in disguise as Jess the Librarian. Not much of a disguise, she's giving a public appearance there, but we'll see where this goes. Are you kidding me, sister? How many groups do you need? No matter. I only still have one royal I kept as a prisoner. No one mentioned anything to do with royals. Why did that come into conversation? I mean, I think maybe because. Well, actually, hold on. I was gonna say, like, in the past, we've had an episode where they talk about how you can harvest the crystals made to use the pop rings from the mines if you have like Avalonian royalty on your side. However, Dr. Kittens himself is Avalonian royalty, so he wouldn't need somebody else.
I know what's happening. So, okay. So, Majesty must be a queen, and that's why she keeps grabbing children, so that way she can just, like, adopt them, so that way they are now also royalty. And
I mean,
so
that would be a good loophole, but...
And so Kittens here has just... He must have Cecilia.
That'd be a good twist. If Cecilia weren't a thing invented by Fox in the chat, and that would have, but I mean, having a twin sister on the other side.
Wait, no, my God, the image. Oh no, I can't get Cecilia back. I guess I have to get her sister instead.
Isn't that literally what Darth Vader tried to do at one point? Was just like, your sister. You have a twin sister.
Sure,
if you will not join me, perhaps she will.
That was definitely just a poke at Luke, but yeah, that was the thing that happened.
She's not a queen; she's a princess. Yeah, but it's still royalty. Yeah, the queen is Queen Galaxia. You're correct. Played by the same actress, mind you, but yes.
You're kidding me? Majesty's actually royalty.
Yes, I wasn't joking about that.
Oh. Well.
Oh, Siphony! Okay, I don't remember Siphony being royalty, but then again, I didn't watch the full series, so that might have been a reveal sometime later. That could have been a season 4 plot point, I just missed it entirely. Because again, I stopped watching at season 3 because I got bored from season 3. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get back into it. You rang Dr. Kittens? How is... Oh, okay, never mind. So you just called Siphony over because... Okay, fine.
Okay, guys. Am I hearable again?
Yes, you are.
All right, good. How is our prisoner doing? I guess they're fine. They're a little bit like thirsty and hungry, but
Yeah. Oh, so at least Money would go back to our child. Maybe this is Queen Galaxia who's been captured.
Oh wait, Jacob, I got a question. So sometimes it say like reconnecting on my side, and then it put me in the backstage, and it says it requires you to add me again. So
that's correct.
Just whenever that happens, add me.
Okay. I don't know if we ever do that. Please be Rose. Please. Oh yeah, you're right. That's true because we did actually find out that Rose from Ballroom in the original Ballroom Pots was a princess. That was a reveal halfway through, and unfortunately, when making revival series, Jonny has a habit of revealing plot points that were originally twist information in later episodes right at the beginning. I think because he originally came up with them on the fly, and so they weren't a clear part of the vision beforehand, and he's putting them in too early. I personally would hint at these things, or I don't know, potentially make some sort of idea of like how that would go about, and then reveal them when they were originally, because originally they were shock reveals that tell us more about the characters afterwards. We don't have to learn everything about the characters in the first episode, just enough to make us invested in what's going on with them. In the case of Prissy, we've got that, and admittedly, I will say as well, the two twins, they have at least the personality of being hyper fans of ballroom dancing, and specifically, it seems the Lobeth family. So, so there's more characterization here than we usually got with ballroom, with any of the original pop series. as in Johnny's original pop series. I mean, because that was one of my complaints was that there were so many characters and so little time to address them that they never got a chance to shine. Here it seems they've at least got a little bit. Not to mention as well that Ballroom Pulse was one of the ones I complained the most about because Jonny kept on adding new pops almost every 2 episodes when already there were some of them that hadn't been properly addressed yet. So seems like he's learned from that at least, so that's good.
Is this background actually in Gacha Club?
Yes, it is. It's just rarely used because it seems hyper specific, so it doesn't really come up in most stories.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the woman in black her mother?
Oh no, that's Siphony. That's That's a character from the Bunglers from the original Totally TV series. That's which has been translated over into the Gacha version. Yeah,
I'm glad her mother isn't a double agent.
No, we did recently watch a pop series where one of the characters' relatives, it was an uncle in this case, got recruited by the Bunglers, but different situation.
Okay.
Rose's kingdom was destroyed by flame ninjas, the reason why the ABC song was created by Jacob and Emily. That's right, ABC, Your Parents Are Dead, the improvised children's story that we made up was created because of Ballroom Pop's episode 5. I'm pretty sure Parents also have, that was the original, this is a reboot. We haven't seen Rose yet, so I'm guessing we might be either going to meet her later this episode or maybe in the future. I don't really know.
I guess someone's parents were concerned and Majesty decided to remove the competition.
Well, the flame ninjas were a different situation. In this case, maybe if it is Rose that they've got prisoner, then it might. Oh wait, hold on, no. Actually, I just realized in the description of this video it says that they are about to save a queen from. I'm pretty sure this is a quote: a kingdom of France. Not the Kingdom of France, a Kingdom of France. So I guess in the franchise, France is split into into separate dominions, I suppose. That would potentially explain why Dystopia is neighbors France geographically. That because they've had so many miraculous crossovers.
So many revolutions that no one could agree who actually won.
There was some people who supported the monarchy still, and they were then banished to a corner of France, and that's where the current queen rules from.
Man, this is sounding more and more like Australia than this is just Australia.
Which is interesting because within Jonny and Eli is the Australian one. But anyway.
Okay, guys, this panel actually is very important. So she's saying you 3 were ballroom pups before Majesty recruited me. Maybe the girl in red, I don't know how to pronounce her name actually, is the most compatible with the programs that Majesty is recruiting them for?
Maybe. Usually when Majesty recruits people, they all end up being as compatible as each other. So these ones wouldn't be like, failed first attempts, because Majesty's been making more and more pop groups just whenever she feels like it.
God,
but she recruits people at different times. Yeah, she recruits people she doesn't recruit them all at the same time, even though I think that's what happened in the original Ballroom Pop series. But in this revival, she's going with the method of one by one, adding them to the ranks, I suppose.
Oh wait, how do you pronounce her name then? The girl in red?
Priscilla.
Priscilla, okay. I'll keep that in
Priscilla.
mind.
Pri, yeah. So, okay. Yep. And you're saying these people called the Bunglers want to take over the world? Of course.
Of course they do.
Man, you can't believe a word of this, can you?
Well, I mean, here's the thing: the bunglers are well known across the world at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, BB
I'm not
Butter,
surprised
to
he doesn't know
answer
who they
your
are.
question, I have watched a lot of anime and I have seen people ruling the world with everything and anything. So yeah.
Just gonna write. Sorry, I'm gonna address this comment. Just gonna write some cast law for your campaign. Nothing to see here. What?
Yeah,
Based
our
on this
campaign.
review, based on this review you're talking about, are we giving you ideas with like the original video or something? Are we gonna enter like a ballroom dance competition at some point and
Man, it's gonna be
have to
crazy
roll for
'cause
performance checks in
it's
order to
crazy. We're gonna be in a pop universe, and it's gonna be hilarious because I can't ever remember a thing from these.
I don't think Vin's watched
I'll
any other
really be
pop videos apart
fumbling
from
my
this
way
one.
through.
Little Fox said, feeling bored might create a new pop group. Yes, that's when I'm bored. I always like steal random girls to create it. Nah, that just forget I said
Yeah,
anything, guys.
I do
Just
like
forget I
stealing
said
random
anything.
teenage girls.
This is this is like the reverse of Hawkmoth. just being like, negative emotions. Let's see. Ah, yes, there you are. Fly, my little Akuma. No, it's just it's just in this case, superheroes. I'll create a whole group of them. I'm feeling like it today. Okay.
My
But
army
let's check
must
the
grow
joke
whenever the
that
dude.
Blueberry was the name of
that you made.
Rosa's kingdom, named after a berry. That's why I was so used to squash too soon. Okay.
You know the real reason for why all these episodes are so, family friendly and not super high stakes. It's because what's really happening is as all these pop groups are being made, Majesty's just waiting for the day that her army is a good enough size to just lay siege upon the bunglers and end the battle that the news is apparently aware of.
Exactly. Let's just
Yes,
say Rhythmic
because
Dance makes a really
ballet
suspenseful
dancing
battle.
produce so much energy around the dancer.
Apparently, Rhythmic Dance makes a really suspenseful battle. Yeah, I remember because I got that wild magic curse where I couldn't stop dancing for a bit last session. I recall doing that during as you know, that was the first episode. Never mind. Yeah, during a combat session that happened.
Oh, to be clear, my character was absolutely dancing because Moraz was playing in the background. My character was absolutely dancing that entire fight.
Just forget.
Yeah. Anyway, and it's our job to stop them. Final battle, Friday Night Funkin' style. God, I hope not. Bunglers, it's time to go down.
I've always really wanted to animate a scene where a fight is done but as dance.
Oh, so play out a fight as dancing? Actually, there is an enemy called Black
No,
Clover.
I mean it is a fight with swords clashing and stuff, but it is merged with dance styles.
Now I
This one I've
feel
seen
you
that before.
because there is an enemy called Black Clover. There is an episode in that enemy where it's literally someone is dancing while carrying two swords, and they're doing exactly what you're describing.
I just never stopped asking to bring up a over in the next session. I'm just gonna have like the most like lactic acid buildup of my life, and it's gonna be over the next session. I just sort of collapse on the floor in a heap of exhaustion.
Right, I would
Good to
think that
know.
I'm done after the fight. I would like to think so.
Well, I mean, yeah, you are. I think
Oh,
Vin was
you,
talking to
right?
me.
I forgot. You're spontaneously doing it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It's our job to
Anyway.
stop them.
Yeah. Sorry to say this, ladies, but you'll have to do storytelling later. I have your first mission. By the way, this is like the new the new status quo. Every new pop series opens up with the characters introducing themselves after we follow one person's story. They meet the rest of the characters, or at least a number of them, and then Majesty interrupts them during their session. They go to the first music thing. I think now this is the new this is Johnny's new writing style, I think Eli's done it too, admittedly. So yeah, if anyone else in writing stuff for this franchise, I consider like changing it up a bit now because it's not a bad format, but it's just we've seen it in everything at this point. What happened, Majesty? Something terrible has happened.
Oh wait, let me do this one. Something terrible has happened to the kingdom of Wallarumpa of the coast of France. The queen has gone missing. Do you hear that?
I'm just going to quickly look up if Wallarumba's a real place.
There's no way.
Nah,
it looks like there aren't many great matches for your search. So either Wallarumba is not real or Google thinks it sucks. So yeah, I think it's it's just made up because Roomba dancing. I was just checking just to make sure.
Wendy and I have heard of Wallarumba. I can't believe Queen Anne was taken.
Ah yes, the most French name of all time, Anne. Ah, there we go. Is Princess Rose okay? I don't know. Let's find out. Oh my goodness. All right.
She's feeling heartbroken about it. I need you to find her mother and bring her back safe.
Ah, okay. This is another typical Jonny thing where the crux of the story relies on that it becomes the most important thing of the story becomes cheering up a sad character rather than I guess rescuing the mother for the sake of bringing someone back to safety and probably also restoring the form of government in the kingdom of Wallarumba, France. Now I'm imagining they have a place called Sambaville. Well, that's more of a Brazilian dance, so that would be a part of Brazil, I think, most likely. But yeah, Sambaville actually absolutely should be a place in this universe.
It sounds less absurd than Wallarumba. Wallarumba sounds like a Mario villain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Luigi! Look out! It is the Wallarumba.
It's like an actual boss that has vacuuming powers. I know that's different spelling of Roomba, but still. It plays Roomba music while it vacuums up everything in its path.
Bandicoot, if you ever heard about it.
Yeah.
So those type of names pop up in that game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I do recall that in Crash Bandicoot there are characters called Uka Uka and Aku Aku respectively. So yeah, that's fair. There you go, picture of vacuum. Yeah, again, I will say different spelling of Roomba, but I get it. I'm pretty sure that's.
I think fighting a big Roomba is perfectly in line for Mario. Actually,
yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, yeah, like a villain that vacuums up everything in its path, a 3D Roomba that plays Roomba music as its boss music.
Oh no! It is Bowser's new bouncers.
Yeah, and the way to defeat it, of course, is to hold
all the Roombas.
The way to defeat it is you have to throw like 3 bombs into it and get vacuumed up. That's the way to that's its weakness. You have to do that 3 times because boss fight.
Yeah, no, I'm picturing it. That's like a boss fight right outside of Bowser's castle, and it's like a bouncer, and you have to get through that to enter the castle and face Bowser.
It's one of the Roombas with an army of Goombas.
Yeah.
Well, I love that we started talking about Mario because it is the first game I ever played, and it was on a very, very old device, if I can recall. It has a keyboard attached, and it's not a computer, but it only play games, if you know what I mean.
Oh, it's like a plug and play console potentially.
Sure, yeah, I can see
Exactly.
that.
And
Yeah.
Mario was hella fun back in the day.
We need
It
more
still
plug
is.
and play. I missed that. That was a weird little gimmick that existed for a while.
Yeah, you can play some of the Butter Bunch. You're saying write that down, write that. Oh, hold on. Perfect boss idea. So I need Walla Roomba the endless vacuum.
The Walla Roomba. Oh
I think
no!
I think he means that for like the campaign. You know, honestly, you know, a D&D campaign set in the Mario universe would actually be a fun idea.
It would. There's so many cool things you could do there.
Yeah. I forget if I know that D&D Beyond has like options for different things in different universes. I don't think Mario's one of them, but you know,
You could homebrew it. You could homebrew your own little setting.
that is true.
I also remember that I was very frustrated every time I clear a castle in Mario and it says, "Oh, Princess Peach is not in this castle."
The
Like
Princess in Another
Princess
Castle, yeah,
Peach,
that annoys everyone. That's a meme. That's like, yeah.
like
I will say,
Peach,
yeah, fun fact for you,
run for it.
Fun fact for you, Sense by Bonds, the first public video ever uploaded to this channel was the first episode of my playthrough of Super Mario 63, not 64, because it was so that there's this Newgrounds game, you know, developed as a fan game that that I really liked growing up because I didn't have many consoles, so I just play, you know, Flash games. You know, I was that generation. So that's how this channel started, was me playing a Flash game of Mario.
That is a very interesting lore story.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I know a good bit about Mario. Never play Mario game. The most I have is Super Smash Bros.
Yeah. My personal favorites are Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. But then again, I haven't played that many myself, so you know there could be other things out there.
It's probably one of those things that I need to get. Legend of Zelda is higher up on my list, but
yeah, fair.
I haven't gotten around to playing Legend of Zelda, but I watched a lot of like gameplay on it on YouTube.
well, Legend of Zelda just intrigues me because of the things that it deals with, right? I like a nice fantasy world. I like the idea of like reincarnations, and there's magic and gods, and there's splitting timelines. I don't know.
It's also
cool.
very puzzle based as well,
Very
which you would
rich
enjoy.
world. Also,
I do like my puzzles.
Speaking of Mario, have you guys ever wondered why when you take the flower and then Mario can shoot like little balls of fire? Remember that? And then
the
then
fire
you get
flower.
hit
Yeah.
once, and then he immediately shrink down to a very small size. He should take actually 2 hits. The first hit should remove the fire. The second make him small, not like instantly
It
small.
normally does. That's usually how it goes. The first hit usually just keeps him as big Mario, and the second hit will be small Mario again. That's usually what happens.
In the very first Mario game, he instantly becomes small, and it always bothers me because.
Well, they eventually fixed it clearly.
Oh, ones with the Koopas.
Yes,
Most of them
very
have
basic
Koopas. I know
one.
what you're referencing, BB, but in most Marios, you do in fact stomp
The first
Koopas.
one.
I'm glad they fixed it in later installations, but in the pum 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 classic Mario, he instantly shrink down, which is annoying. But yeah, I played that game way too many times, man.
Fair enough. Okay.
And by playing, I mean I beat the 80th English is hard, the 80th castle.
We're on it, Majesty. Good luck, ladies. Well, let's say the phrase, girls. Ballroom pops, let's cha-cha.
I like when they teleport like Dragon Ball characters for no reason at all.
Oh, well, you would enjoy Fallen Angels then, because I did the scoring and sound effects for part of that series, and one of the things that I introduced was that when the characters teleport, they make the same teleportation sound as instant transmission in Dragon Ball.
You mean the chicken?
Yes. I found the same sound effect, and that's been used in the series ever since. I don't do the scoring anymore, but that was
that.
yeah. I altered a great many things when Aiden came to me and was like, hey, can you do the sounds? Like, oh, well, boy, you in for a treat. Anyway, my lady, it's going to be okay.
No,
Well,
no,
wait,
wait.
they're French. They're French.
It's my lady. It's gonna be okay.
I love that Jacob's idea of French is an American's idea of British.
Well, I mean, that was me doing like a Cockney accent. That's what I did for most maids. I just remembered that I remembered a second later that she was supposed to be French. Anyway, and it's really about my mother, Hannah. Hello, princess. Who are you? What are you doing here in my kingdom?
What is that voice, man? What are you doing, Jacob?
I'm trying to like accurately express how afraid she would be in this situation. Because Priscilla had one person teleport into her room randomly. She just got 4 after her mother just disappeared. Anyway, Your Highness, don't be afraid. We're the Ballroom Pops. We're here to save your mum.
I feel so much safer now about my mom because ballet dancers are on the hunt to save her. That's like, who needs a police, man?
Yeah, we're not. We can't. No, not ballet dancers. We're not legally allowed to use that name. That's a different group of pops. Also, okay, but also I like the fact they say like mum here because the other characters, they are from the UK, so they would spell mum like that and say that. So yeah, that's nice. And I know that you probably won't believe us as we only just met, but it's true.
But it's true.
Mm.
Yeah, very believable.
Yeah.
Wait, we can prove it for you, and just starts dancing randomly.
Yeah, epic.
I am convinced. I just miss Mother so much. It was just me and her since I was.
They must be telling the truth.
Yep, they only met recently as well. I just also they're not reacting to the fact that they're transformed for the first time. They haven't seen what they look like yet, so they just haven't registered yet. They are in different outfits and have different hair. I think.
Yeah, they only just seen them in these outfits, so they don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, I just miss Mother so much. It was just me and her since I was 5. The maid's like, what about me? So I guess in this version, we don't have the flame ninjas who attacked the kingdom originally. I honestly like the twist that, they found the lost princess afterwards. I mean, I know I made fun of like how suddenly and how she reacted to it and how they presented it to her with no tact whatsoever, but it was at least something original here, because we've had again, Disco Pops opened up with them saving Princess Kim as well, who eventually joined their ranks. So not only have we got rid of the twist reveal that Rose was the princess in this reality, but she's introduced as the princess now in the same fashion that Kim was. It does feel like Jonny is recycling a lot of stuff that he's done already, and very recently, in fact. It'll be okay, princess. We'll save the reina. Which is just queen, obviously.
Thank you, random girls I just met.
Yeah, our pleasure, princess. Of a kingdom we didn't know existed. Something doesn't make sense, though. Oh, a lot of things don't make sense, but what could cause the bunglers to kidnap a queen? Yeah, why would anyone want to kidnap the head of an entire government? Clearly, no one's ever tried that before.
No.
It's impossible.
Don't ask about Roosevelt.
I will not.
But to be fair, maybe she thinks there is a specific reason other than money.
Yeah, but the fact that she thinks it doesn't make sense. I mean, yeah, okay, money, power potentially, you know, as some sort of like
I
other
meant Kennedy,
ransom.
by the way.
Since this is
I meant
fictional,
Oh.
maybe
Kennedy.
the queen holds the
I-
key to
oh,
some
yeah, I was
ancient
like-
power.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know too much about Teddy Roosevelt. I know a lot about Franklin Roosevelt, but yeah, I didn't remember either of them being mentioned of being
No,
kidnapped
yeah.
victims.
No, different guy.
Okay, just
Different
later on.
U.S. government guy.
Princess is the who is the one with the red hair to her right.
Oh, sorry. That's her maid. I'm pretty sure, Hannah.
Ah, okay.
Again, not a very French name, I don't think, but I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine.
I love what she says like, I'm so worried about my mom. It's been her since I was 5. Hannah, you seem worried. Are you okay? Like, she also would not be concerned about the queen just disappearing. Anyway,
Look,
there's something about
Jacob.
Maxine.
She said there is something about the queen that I know that I've been meaning to tell you. That's why the green-haired girl was suspicious, because she felt like a disturbance in the force. There must be a specific reason.
There was no way that the green-haired girl would have known that.
No, she felt a disturbance in the force, Jacob.
I mean, I will say the pops, depending on which series you're in, the different pops will have different powers for themselves. Like in the original Super Pop, for example, Cosmic Pop had bubble powers for some reason. Electro Pop, electric powers, that one self-explanatory. Power Pop, super strength. Except Crystal Pop could freeze stuff. Flash Pop, shape-shifting. Don't get the comparison there with the word, but anyway, doesn't matter. So, but in the franchise, I don't tend to do that too much. But yeah, maybe in this reality, the greenhead Pop can, I guess, has like enhanced intuition of some kind, or rolls really high on perception checks. I don't really know. Anyway, the creator's back, so he can probably fill us in. Yeah, welcome back, Jonny. Exactly.
Wipeout fan.
Yeah. Did I finish the theme song? I'm gonna make it into a video format. I'm gonna edit that tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure the next day campaign will be that on, because that's on Tuesday, right? Or so it's on the 9th. So it's Tuesday 9th. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna edit that into a video format and send that to KW for use on the actual stream itself. She actually has magic powers, and so do you. What is it? Megan and I will begin to explain how the ballroom pops free your mother.
Wait, what?
So we'll explain. We'll begin to explain. We'll explain. I'm guessing Megan's another maid. Okay. Do you have the last known whereabouts your mom was at, Princess? This room, I presume. She was last seen in the garden. Oh, that makes sense, actually. It's a good place to vanish.
It's
Okay,
easier
well,
to snatch her from the garden.
Precisely, yeah. So this is the last known whereabouts of the Queen. This doesn't look like royal gardens. I know that Jonny doesn't, import backgrounds, so that's probably why. This is just a gacha background.
I mean, let's pretend it's a royal garden.
Man, that might be the most your British has ever come out. This doesn't look like a real royal garden.
Okay, I have been to plenty of royal gardens. Most of them, not ones over here, actually. I've been to French ones. I don't think I have, actually. Maybe not. I've been to maybe I've been to mostly in Austria. I think I meant to interview them.
Megan is another maid. Okay.
Yeah. Waltz and I will check in the fountain. So another thing about pop groups as a whole, when they're transformed, they tend to use their pop names, for the sake of protecting identities, obviously. Problem is, this time they never went over what their names in pop form actually were, and this is their first mission together, so they wouldn't know what to call themselves. And it's not like in Total TV, the original version. In the first episode, they actually did a thing was like they transformed and they went, I'm Power Pop, Flash Pop, Crystal Pop, or whatever. I don't know. They did like some weird pose at the same time. And that was originally the
Power
way
Rangers.
yeah, that was originally the way that they announced their names. They didn't do it every episode. They kind of like decided against that. But again, most of the Pops already knew each other beforehand. It was only Crystal Pop who was new. But then they explained to her why they shouldn't use their civilian names or why they decided not to do that. Again, in this time, no one knows what anyone is called because Majesty never gave them any sort of briefing. Moving the rings, she didn't do that with Priscilla, but anyway. Okay, Pastor and I will check near the towers.
Which one is
We'll also
Paso?
say, one in red. That's Priscilla's pop form. I know that because Majesty mentioned that earlier.
Oh, okay. She does look different, so good job, Jonny.
Oh, you mean to say she's still recognizable as herself? Yeah. People complain about that when it comes to designing superheroes, but you know, magic most of the time is the answer to that question. Got it. Let me out! Never! Just hand over the keys to Walla Roomba and we'll let you go. Most of the time you don't need keys to enter like a physical, you know, like a kingdom. It's a very wide area and most of you can teleport. So
Okay, I'm gonna try to make it logical. Maybe the kingdom has a power field around, and only people who are holding a specific item can pass through the power field.
And because the queen who has the key is not there anymore, the field is currently down right now, and that's why the Pop's able to teleport inside. Okay.
I really hate these bars, by the way.
Okay. I hate the chain that's randomly there that never gets used even more because
It's very large.
yeah, especially back in the day with Gacha Life 1, because it's one of the oldest Gacha backgrounds. People would either have to try to ignore that or they would try to pretend that the character was chained up, obviously by hovering the character over. Now, technically speaking, you know, if people know how to do masking, then you can make that work if you scale the characters correctly. But that also means that the character themselves can't move because that chain is fixed to the background and it's not like a thing you can actually extend or alter.
Oh
in the
yeah,
slightest.
like masking is not easy to pull off, but it's also not hard. The problem is you can't move the
you've done it?
character because you have to redo the whole thing each time.
It depends because some of the time actually if you pre-render a character with all the different pose changes, then you apply the mask to the video to like the video in the timeline, then you can actually then it actually sort of works because the mask will stay in place even if the character doesn't move around. So
Oh yeah, to plan
for
ahead
fixed
the
objects.
movements.
Yeah, exactly. People don't
I
realize the
actually
power
do
of
that a lot
pre-rendering.
when I'm animating. Gotcha.
Okay. Would not have guessed, but actually that's a good thing that I wouldn't have guessed because the best kind of masking for me is the kind that you don't notice it's there. Like I've used it in almost every single video of Gacha video that I've made in the past year, but I've never drawn attention to it except when I'm reviewing it and I'm pointing it out. But yeah, I'll never give up my kingdom. Just let me go back to my daughter and the kingdom in that order. I already told you we're not letting you go. Well, Saifi's mad. Did you hear that, Mambo? I did. That must be Anne. Let's let the others know. So they kidnapped the queen, but they held her in a dungeon inside her own castle. Dare I suggest not the most subtle of places to hold somebody?
Actually, that could work because she's hiding in plain sight, but not really.
Where you'd least expect her to be. I suppose, yeah, that's true. I would love my designs for the ballroom pop forms. On one hand, I found them adorable, especially passive. On the other hand, it's obvious when I made them because of my current style. That happens a lot, yeah. I know that a lot of gacha tubers will change their current style a lot. I've almost got onto the change of styles, but because my shows tend to last for so long, all the characters have to stay relatively the same artistically anyway.
Wait, hold on. In Gacha Club, I know there is a narrator mode where you have like the text appear in a huge text bubble up or down, but can you
Yeah.
make personalized text bubbles like in Gacha Life? How do you do that in Club?
I don't tend to use the speech bubbles at all. I tend to use the narrator one, but I think in order to do that, I think there is a way to change the color of the bubble itself and all the text.
Like
Most people don't
I
usually do that.
searched around the Gacha Club app. I didn't find an option to switch from narrator to personalized text bubbles like they have, like the one I did. That must be an. I can't do that. I can do it in Gacha Life.
Oh, well, right, that's in the chat tab. That's where you need to go for that. Any confusion while I was gone? As usual, yes. Do I remember all of it? No. But most of it kind of boiled down to the fact that it's, Majesty seemed to forget to give Priscilla her actual pop ring. They decided to go to Baywood Academy, which is canonically in California, but they're in the UK at the moment. The ballroom pops, they seem to no longer be in their original setting, and they seem to be they seem to want to be in a generic high school. Them being a dance club must therefore logically, indisputably mean they must live together, because that's what dance groups always do. As soon as they've just met somebody, the mother was okay with all of this, and now we're here. So yeah, a lot of confusion actually. We found Anne. We're not going to check, but we found her. Bear in mind, they've never met the queen, so they don't know what she sounds like. This could be someone else randomly in the dungeon. Not that that's a good thing either, but still, like, you're declaring it's Anne prematurely. Run away. That was quick. So, what's the plan to save her? Alright, listen up. I've got a groundbreaking idea here. What's that? No, literally, we break the ground. Oh, I love how I just said all that at the same time. I was like, oh, whoops. Anyway.
There's your explanation.
I'll trap them in my flames, and then Waltz can sneak past them and free Anne. Okay, I'll keep watch.
That's a cool effect.
A bit, yeah. I mean, most of that's like, there's actually it is literally in the effects tab of Gacha.
Oh.
Which, yeah, we don't tend to use that too much because they're static, but yeah, for this stuff it works because everything is still
images. The effects were decent.
The effects were decent, yes. Dr. Ruin, it's getting hot in here. Okay, but only they're just bursting in flames.
Hey, is anyone else getting a little warm or something? Or
it's getting hot in here, so I'm a burst in flames. I am getting so hot, my skin's gonna melt off. Ah! Anyway. Oh, okay, so Simps My Band's battery died, so... okay. Fair enough. Why, yes, in fact, I think I smell burning flesh. Oh my goodness, it's my own flesh. Someone ought to do something about that, and that someone is me. I will run now and panic and scream. And stop, drop, and roll. Anyway. No, I specifically wanted it to be cold. I mean, it clearly isn't, so... Why are we surrounded by fire? Is Dr. Ruin or Dr. Kitten's, like, canonically fireproof? I mean, obviously, in Super Pop, we've never seen him burst in flames, I don't think, but I don't remember that being part of the lore. Don't worry, they don't kill anyone. I mean... oh, you're saying this is like Priscilla's fire powers that are specifically non-lethal. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I think fire being lethal is a pretty core part of it, actually.
Not anymore. This is magic fire. You can do what you want with it.
Sure.
I will say there's well, I was gonna say an episode of which, it's a chapter of which, because it's magazines, where Tarani, the one with fire powers, creates a bunch of small flames in order to light the house because there's a power outage they caused by accident. And and I remember Irma, one of the ones, says like, well, look at this, it doesn't burn me. So she's able to turn that off. Also, now I think about it, Irma just like poked her finger into fire to see if it burned. So not sure if that was a smart decision, but then again, she does control water, so she would have been fine. That was from me. Oh, I guess. Oh man, I wish we'd had like a sound effect in there or something to show like they broke the ground. Do like Anthony Padilla's intro or something where they like burst through the ceiling. Now let Queen Anne go. So, you must be those ballroom brats that we heard about. They're just ignoring the fact that they're still on fire. Like, I know it's non-lethal, but at the very least this would hurt, right? Like, otherwise, what's the point? You set them on fire, but the fire does nothing.
It's just a slightly warm force field, it's fine.
I mean, you try to get sponsors from the Capitol for the 74th Hunger Games? Like, what's going on here? And how many times do they just say that we won't let her go until the keys to the kingdom are ours? Okay, Dr. Ruin, in fairness to them, they just got here. They didn't hear you say that last time. This is the first time they're hearing this. Well, if you don't, Passo's flames will stay with you forever. Oh no, not useless flames that do nothing of harm.
You know, out of context of anything in relating to this video, that sentence feels like it. That feels like something in like mythology, like that's like if mythology tried explaining forest fires.
Maybe. Or it could actually also have been like a curse of some kind that was inflicted. Like this could have been the punishment for Prometheus, actually. You know, Prometheus, since you like fire so much, you know, if you like fire so much, why don't you marry it? Constantly on fire for the rest of the time. Yeah. Fine, we'll let her go. Man, she looks exactly like Rose.
Okay, problem. So, credit, and then I'm gonna take it back immediately. So credit where credit's due. You can hear the sound effect of the creaking of the door, which is great. Problem, there's not a door.
I think it was meant to be like the bars separating or something. I think that's that sound effect more so than a door. But yeah. Okay. Also, I've got something to go credits and then immediately take it away. Credits. We actually see the use of a unique power that somebody has within the Pops crews, because most of the time they just they just like use pew pews, they just blast each other with lasers, and that's it. So yeah, that I'd like. Taking that away because we don't know how she figured this out, when she figured it out, and it also does nothing.
She felt it in the Force, Jacob.
Is everyone Force sensitive? Is that why they were chosen? Because they're all Force sensitive. They don't know it. They all have the shining.
Oh, it's just like Star Wars lore. The Jedi kidnap children too.
Anyway, that was with the new AC that I installed, Symphony. The AC caused to be hotter. By the gods, we're on fire! Symphony's thoughts. Why do I work with this idiot? I just start my own evil group, but I chose this idiot. I didn't even get paid much. I do believe that after spoilers for season 2, 3 of Super Pops, at some point Dr. Ruin ends up joining the side of good, and he returns to his previous form of whatever, lagging Cheshire. Don't know why I blanked for some reason on his name. And in that time, I think Symphony actually does become the leader of the bunglers. Most of the bunglers aren't even around much anymore. She has like her own doppelganger called Flopsy, and then that's it. Not to be confused. Not to be confused with Flopsy. Yeah, but I was about to say not to be confused with that Flopsy.
I love you, Flopsy.
Of course. Anyway.
It's a Butter Bunch reference, by the way, guys. If you aren't subscribed to the Butter Bunch, don't forget to go down there after stream and subscribe to the Butter Bunch.
Well, I feel like it's also an Avatar reference, but yeah. This isn't the end, Ballroom Pops. As soon as we install fire extinguishers in this place, you're doomed.
Okay, well,
Queen Anne, you okay?
Yeah. Cool little effect there of them telling a porn away. I wish you transferred the song could have used a transition.
Like a bit of a fade out or something. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Ballroom Pops. You're welcome. You sound worried, Your Majesty. What's wrong? You seem worried. She just got kidnapped! What do you mean?
Dude, in the real world, this requires years of therapy to recover from. What are you talking about? Real people have had their lives and sanity ruined by being kidnapped. What do you mean?
What's got your crown a twist?
Dude, are you serious?
Okay. This is all my fault. I didn't want to protect my little princess. I mean, she was fine. However, all I did was put myself in danger and not my princess. Again, you succeeded. To go back to the Star Wars comparison, everyone's pointed this out before, but does anyone remember when Senator Amidala's decoy gets shot and like as she's dying, she goes, "I'm sorry, I failed you." It's like, no, you didn't. You were hired specifically for this reason.
Okay.
You have succeeded with flying colors.
Okay. The Star Wars reference you make, valid, totally. I think it's slightly different in this context, however. Because now we're talking about a mother and a child. I think the idea is I was taken, so now my child is no longer safe. And I was hurt for trying to simply protect them.
I suppose, but then again, she did protect her, and the child was perfectly fine because nothing at all happened to her. Anyway, your maid Hannah did say she has something to tell your daughter. Yes, it probably go. So I guess it read to something else. Probably her latent force sensitivity or something. She has powers too, and therefore that's oh my goodness. Yes, Hannah, Megan, and I agreed if I was ever in danger, they would tell Rose my secret. And yet they waited until rescue was on the way in order to start talk about that conversation. Maybe she was a former pop, actually. Like she got too old and Majesty released her from a blood contract. Oh, okay.
PowerPoint transition.
And again, this background, I have never liked this gacha background. There is no way to have characters on this background and not have them look like Thumbelina. But yeah, anyway, so what's going on, you two? What did my mother keep from me all this time?
Okay, so when I first saw this, I see these two sitting next to each other in front of this lady, and she goes, "Oh God, hang on."
We'll come back to that thought after these messages. And by the messages, I mean the video. So what's going on, you two? What did my mother keep from me all this time? Your Highness, the Queen is in danger. Yeah, no duh, she's been kidnapped. She is fully aware that the Queen is in danger. 13 years ago, she was good. Oh! Oh! What a guess! Oracle powers! Manifest once more! Hallelujah! Okay. Well, moving on from that. Okay, she was created to be a ballroom pop specifically. Okay, that's interesting though, because to be a different pop group member, that would make sense. But to be a ballroom pop herself, I was not aware that the ballroom pops themselves would have crossed generations. That's a curious idea, actually. What does happen when pops end up, getting older when they cross generations? Yeah, I don't know.
They don't. They die.
By the way, I called it. I called it. The mother was, in fact, used to be a pop.
I've had my headphones on.
Oh, okay. All right then.
No, so I saw.
Yo, what's up, guys? I plugged it in the charger.
I saw this in my first instinct, right? Because because the statement question was, "What's going on YouTube?" I thought it said, "What's going on with you two?" And I see these two sitting here, and I'm like, "Oh, are they coming out as lesbian right now?"
I mean, a bit of a weird time to do that. Princess, we know your mother's been kidnapped, but we are saying to tell you we have an announcement. They reach for each other's hands.
Yeah.
How old is Rose? Who knows at this point? Who knows how old any of them are anymore? They were meant to be adults, but oh, she's 18. Okay, fine.
Okay, she's 18. I assumed so.
I'm guessing that means that the other pops are probably around similar age to that. I'm guessing anywhere from 16 to 18. They'd be in their final 2 years of high school, I imagine. Well, not high school. They'd be in that's actually the age of sixth form in the UK. So
wait guys, before we proceed, a little 2 lines of singing to introduce her. I'm back after plugging my PC charger.
I'm getting.
If you ever heard the song
Daniel Deja Vu now,
which is called Determination, it goes like this, or I'm gonna change it. How did I bounce back? It's determination.
I have heard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love the way My PC battery keep on dying. I love the way. I love the way. I love the way I keep on bouncing.
Hey, can you do this on like a 20-minute loop? I will be right back.
No, we cannot 20-minute loop that. Absolutely not. I
need just a
love
20-minute
the fact
loop
that
of this.
somebody else came in and did a parody song, improvise. I absolutely love that. Thank you for that. I'm not alone anymore. But we're not gonna pause for 20 minutes and just
All
loop
right.
that over and
I'm
over
glad you
again.
enjoyed.
Also, Wipeout does say that they're 18 to 20. So
Oh, but they're all. But weren't they all in school?
I will be
Was
right
that
back.
not the implication? Unless that, like that seemed to be the case. So if it, if not, does that mean that a random stranger came up to her in like the middle of the day and just went, "Yay, new friend, let's hug." That's even worse. Oh no.
13 years ago, she recruited, so she's an OG.
Yeah. Orca powers, yeah, I mentioned that. Must be a college. I hope so. But then again, if Priscilla didn't want to move, she could have stayed at a college in Spain. Madrid happens to have some of the best universities in Spain. The other place is Barcelona, but one of those two places, most of the time you go to those ones. There are other locations, but those are the best ones. So she's local to most of the the ideal places to go, and yet decides like, okay, well, I guess I gotta go to college in the UK because my family decided to randomly move. Forget the fact that most college students have dorms that they go to. And I'm going to move out anyway and join some random strangers in a dance group, is the cover story. Like, my lord. Anyway. The girls that are finding Mother right now, by pure coincidence, they had to be the exact same pop group name that your mother had years ago. Also, now I realize something. Okay, pop name was Roomba. She changed that after... She chose that name after Kingdom. So she got to choose her name and no one else did. Okay, fantastic. But also, did it... Also, what is... Well, okay, I need to think of what I was going to say here. So...
Take a deep breath.
Yeah. Right. No, I've forgotten now. I forgot what I was gonna say. It's gone now.
It's okay. We're not thinking about remembering it. It will come back on its own.
That's true. Yeah, well, like I'll be like lying in bed late at night and I'll just remember it somehow and be like, oh no, I can't say it.
You'll be like, oh my god, I could have
Oh
said
no,
that
even
on
worse.
the stream.
I will turn the camera off, and the second that the stream ends, I'll remember what I was going to say. That's happened many times to me.
I swear that's how it works.
Yeah. Wendy, sorry about that. I just get excited when I see new people. I mean, sure, but like, if you just do that like randomly on the street, that's not good. That's not a good idea. That's gonna get you in trouble.
By the way, Wipeout fan, you're the creator, right? I absolutely love the color palettes of the 4 main characters. They remind me of a cartoon called Witches, where the main characters like are girls that each get an element, like fire, wind, electricity.
I was just talking about this before. I just mentioned this. There's 5 girls, by the way, but I just mentioned this. Like with the flames that don't burn. Tarani specifically makes like non-burning flames at one point in the magazine, because like originally it was a magazine that got adapted into a cartoon. So, yeah, I'm so wow. Not only do you like improvise parodies, but you also have heard of Witch. Like, I'm not the only person talking about that series anymore. If you've read the magazine,
yeah, I watched it back in the day, so I remember it. It was really awesome and fun.
Yeah, I read the magazines first, so when I watched it, I was I was shocked by some of the things that got changed from there. I do think I still prefer the magazines. Have you read like any of those?
You are welcome, Wipeout fan. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Also, yes, there was magazines about which I had one actually, just like way back in the day.
Fair enough. I have an entire collection. Again, in Madrid, physically enough, when I lived there, there was a promotion that ran in a magazine one of the newspapers, one of the big newspapers called El Mundo, which just means the world. And every Sunday for 40 weeks straight, they released like volumes of usually 2 stories of Witch. So the first well, I say the first 40 stories, there was a little bit of, sometimes they would skip back and forth towards like the very end, but most of the first 60 odd editions, I suppose, if you count them as separate things. I read weekly because my dad happened to get El Mundo, and he's just like, oh, I didn't know this was happening. This promotion was happening.
You never
So I was like,
heard
yeah,
of
right, gimme.
Wipeout fan? It's okay. It actually matches your vision of the story a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Like there's some technicalities to that. Also, it's usually it's actually spelt out like an acronym.
Yeah, it's
like this.
It's like WITCH, all caps.
Yeah, because it's because the characters, the main characters are Will, Irma, Tarani, Cornelia, and Halen. That's why they're.
Oh my! Serious? Is that what it means?
Did you not realize that?
Never.
They cover that in like the first episode and the first chapter of the magazine, but you know, whatever. Or second.
That's brilliant, actually. I love that.
Wow. Okay. That was like their gimmick, or this.
But to be fair to me, I watched it way back in the day, so I don't remember much.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I've recently been whether in the past year or so, I've been reading the Fairy Oak books, which are written by the author, the creator of which, like just separately. So kind of like zombies. Oh yeah, I guess so. The main character's name is Zed, right? So I guess.
Of things.
I mean, are there 7 main characters in zombies that all have those that fit them? Maybe, I don't know. She fought these villains known as the Bunglers, and we believe that they have taken her. It must have been hard for
Mother to keep her identity secret.
Well, now it falls to you, because much like the Pink Ranger and one of the Power Rangers, don't know which one, instead of it's now your responsibility, but instead of it passing from to a younger sister, it's to the daughter, I guess. Again, an interesting idea to have like a multi-generational, pop family. At the same time, I don't know if I would have called I don't know if I would have called the pop groups the exact same thing, like Ballroom Pop's Generation 2, I guess. But who knows? Maybe Majesty was just like, I like this name. I want to. I'm gonna relive the glory days of the Ballroom Pops. Okay. Anyway, there were so many times we wanted to tell you, my lady. Oh, now I remember what I was gonna say. I remembered it now. So, 13 years ago, she was chosen, right? Which means, like,
just
if Rose is 8
of the title of zombies. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Fine. Well, okay. So, if 13 years ago, that was, that was when she was chosen. Bear in mind that Rose is 18 years old, which means that she would have been 5 and already born when Majesty chose her, which means that she does occasionally pick adults, which is, I guess, good to know, but also picks adults that have to take care of 5-year-old children and a kingdom. Maybe not the best decision, Majesty.
I mean, maybe because she specifically, the queen, had like very, very far great compatibility with the program, so she would be the strongest of them all. So she kind of had to take her.
Okay. I mean, for an episode where Kimberly gave Catherine the pink power coin. I just remember that there was a pink Power Ranger at some point that died, and then her little sister took over in some series at some point. I don't know their names. I don't know anything beyond that. It was a random
All
episode
right,
that I watched
I
years
watched
ago.
like 1 million iteration of Power Rangers. So which one are we talking about?
I have watched one iteration, that one episode, and I have no further context.
Kind of hard then for me to relate.
Yeah. So the queen went missing. We didn't learn any of the royal guards about this or have them search for her. No, because the bunglers are responsible.
We were waiting for the magic girls with 4 elements to save the day.
That were formed today, so they couldn't have known
Yes.
about them.
Don't question me. I'm
Now you know what we're like used to on Gacha Review. That was Lost Galaxy with Kendricks and Curran. Okay. All right, fine.
okay, all right.
Side note, Kendricks and Coroni have
That makes
those
more
are some
sense.
great names. Anyway. However, to protect you from being in danger, she had to keep it a secret. But she wasn't a ballroom pop anymore, right? Unless she's been a ballroom pop this entire time and they're still operational to this day. Which means there's now 2 generations of ballroom pops operating simultaneously. But I don't think that's the idea.
She had to keep it a secret.
Hopefully you understand. I have
I
many
mean, it's a lot to
questions.
take in, but I guess.
Yeah. I understand. I just
Cameron
feel
is
weird about her
Andrew's
since
sister. Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
Andrew's.
I know it's
I know
been
it's
rough
been a
10
10
years since your father
Okay,
passed away.
go ahead.
Wait, okay, again, the maths isn't mathing because like she said she was 5. It's just her and her mother since she was 5, but it's been 10 years since her father passed away. Unless she had like a deadbeat dad that left for a bit and then died, that doesn't add up. Literally doesn't add up.
Wait, how now?
18. So by this calculation, she would have been 8 when her father passed away. Which I guess means that she had a deadbeat dad for 3 years, and then, I don't know, he keeled over and died or something. I'm sure, though, he'll be proud of the strong, caring, and loving princess you've become, if he bothers to stick around the last 3 years of his life. Rose, I'm back, sweetie. Mother. Oh, Rose has got some blue eyeshadow, which blends on over the eyebrows of the characters because that's a gacha glitch that's been a thing for years. I missed you. I missed you too. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, my little princess. I
Guys,
assume they've already
can you
finished
hear
talking.
me? I reconnected.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. She was 8 when her father died. Okay, so confirmed. She had a deadbeat dad for 3 years. It's been just me and my mum since I was 5, but also I was 8. God, it's like Gabriel Agrest's death again. There's like 3 canon answers before Gabriel's funeral. Just clarified it recently. Granted, I think most of the most of the Gabriel is dead lore came from before season 5 was a thing in Miraculous, but still, you shouldn't need a reason not to have 3 canon deaths of somebody. Not the Dream SMP. Mom, it's
And
okay.
I
I understand why you
reconnected again.
Yeah. Hello, ladies, and it's good to see you again, Anne. Implying she hasn't seen her for a number of years, so the other ballroom pops are not operational. Okay, got it.
Hold on. If Majesty is like so strong that she can recruit these random girls and give them powers, why doesn't she save the queen by herself? She sounds OP.
Yeah, and some of the time she has joined the pops on missions, like using the source material, but yeah, for the most part, it seems that she prefers to choose, her own champions. Kind of like asking why Hawkmoth doesn't just constantly attack Paris himself. He just gets other people to do it for him. I guess it's just the methodology behind it. I don't really know.
It reminds me of
Basically, they made
a
an error when
comedy
it came to the
skit.
age. Hey, look, it's not as bad as it's not as bad as the era when it came to I forgot whose age it was in Disco Pops. Yeah, Sense My Bonds, you weren't here for this, but basically, there was that in the lore there is there was a group called the Blues Pops that at some point were in a shipwreck and then they were marooned away from each other for 10 years. Turns out that one of the people who were in the Blues Pops actually is revealed. Well, sorry, in the Disco Pops, was actually revealed to be in the Blues Pops and had amnesia. That character was canonically 12 years old and had been seen going to school with the other Disco Pops, as 12-year-olds are known to do. Now, when you consider that she was marooned at sea for 10 years, you realize she must have been 2 when Majesty recruited her. That's why being joked before about Majesty recruiting toddlers. It was that specific thing. This then, when the revival came around, that got retconned in the revival that she was actually 22. Still in the same boarding school, which is a new plot hole, but at least you can rationalize it a bit more than Majesty recruiting a toddler.
People before the
until
retcon
shipwreck.
dropped were very confused, I assume.
Yeah. Fun fact, that was actually one of the Gabriel Agreste confirmed deaths, was that he died on that shipwreck 10 years prior to the events of Jazz Pops.
Oh, okay.
That was part of the lore.
and the lore becomes deep.
It sure does. The thing is that a lot of this is lost media now, because apart from on my reviews, because the original channel this was all uploaded on was deleted. That's why there's so many revival series. It's not because it's a case I want to tell the story again just because. It's more of I want to tell the story again, but I've also been forced to because of circumstance. So that's why there are so many differences. Actually, Jen's 23. Okay. Still, definitely not Baywood Academy boarding school age, to my knowledge.
You know why,
Then
fan?
again,
It's
I would
okay
assume he's
to
done
get confused a little bit when labeling them with ages, because it can get hard to keep up with every character, every backstory. So it's okay. It happens.
Okay, yeah, but these are the main characters, and they're all roughly the same age as each other.
No problem. It's only one creator managing them all. It's hard, man.
That's a very generous take. Okay.
Come back.
Good to see you as well, Majesty. Who is that?
What did I miss?
Majesty. What was the last thing you remember?
Lesbian maids.
Okay.
Since by sang, and then I asked for a 20-minute loop, and then I think there's one thing after that I was there for, but I don't remember.
Yeah, beyond that, it was mostly that the mother and daughter have been reunited now, and Majesty has shown up. That's basically it.
Okay.
Hi, Majesty. Hello, Princess Rose. It's an honor to meet you. I think we did pretty well for our first mission. And by we, I mean me, because I set the flames and no one else did anything, really. Only, what about Princess Rose and her mum? They might get attacked again. We have a bunker for them or something.
No one left.
Mum was a good point, Your Majesty and Highness.
Okay, that led to a train of thoughts that now makes me want to find something out. So, you were like, oh, give him a bunker. And I'm like, huh, it's the first nuclear bunker. It's like the first end-of-the-world doomsday bunker. And then I thought, what is the first? Right? And then I was like, what is the first end-of-the-world doomsday
That's the
bunker?
Spirit Wipeout fan. Keep your head up and keep taking tips to improve.
Yeah.
Like, can I, like, is that documented? Can I go and see the first, like, bunker?
Anyway, true. Knowing the bunkers, they want to take my mother again and again until they get the keys to Wallarumba, I guess.
Oh no, Wallarumba!
I like the fact that like the actual danger had nothing to do with her being a ballroom pop, and that was like the biggest secret anyway. It just got triggered by that.
I mean, we gotta guard her mother 24/7, I guess.
It triggered like Article 20 of the Wallarumba Constitution. If the Queen is ever in danger, the maids must reveal the secret regardless of circumstance. Anyway,
if one dies prior to the maid disappearing, we must close the loop and execute the other one.
That's Article 21. No.
Yeah.
They don't enforce that one.
That's Article 66. Execute all the maids.
No, that was a decree made by King Edmond the Crazy. We don't enforce that one.
Yeah. It's going through reforms right now. We just haven't fully decided out the kinks of how much extermination we allow, and there's all sorts of loopholes, and Parliament, right?
I was just this maids get the guillotine ready, heads are going to roll.
Yeah, that's an extreme solution.
No, that's a French solution.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, I forgot to say, I actually disconnected for the fifth time. It kept happening. So
we noticed because I had to reconnect you.
Yeah, you're doing a great job at catching those disconnections. And
you're doing a great job, champ. Just keep reconnecting me.
But
I'll do that.
Two more singing lines to express how I feel about disconnecting every few minutes. So I'm gonna lay it out on y'all. Anyway, I disconnected again. It keeps happening. I don't know why it keep happening.
Oh, okay. I was like, that felt like there was going to be like another thing to that. Okay, fair enough.
No, that's
Is my poor connection? Whoa.
Oh yeah, let's go. My poor connection is so bad. I love the way I keep on disconnecting.
You're logging in. You're logging in. As soon as disconnects, I'm detecting.
Let's go. Okay. That was good.
Yeah, but Bon is like lurking right now, just listening to them. Like, oh god, there's two of them now. Anyway, but we'll always beat the bunglers again and again. I think I have an idea for how we can protect my little princess as well as myself. security.
I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but I'm gonna pray to gods it was, because it's good, and I want something good to be purposeful. I like the touch here of listing, like, protect my little princess as well as myself. I like that she's
Yeah,
the
that's
secondary thing there.
empathetic.
Yeah,
I like it too.
that's in character with her as well, because that was her main motivation. Right, coming
No,
out
absolutely.
from the
That is very much something that I would expect a mother to phrase it as, which is
yeah.
nice.
Yep.
Makes a real contrast from Priscilla's mother. So good that that's in this.
You know, speaking of characters being
Bro.
within their non-character, it's okay to break character, but in a specific scenario. So, like to make a plot twist or something.
Well,
Yeah,
okay, hold on.
Okay, I think if a character is forced into a situation that they don't know how to solve, if there's something that seems like outlandish for them, then that's due to circumstance. If they just randomly decide to do that because the plot demands it, that becomes contrived. That's the difference.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
being for a plot twist is not a good enough excuse.
Yeah, it should be well written.
If a
Like they can't
pacifist
randomly.
character goes on a murdering spree, it is not because a plot twist commanded it. It is because they have literally no other option. We are seeing them at their breaking point, and this is part of a big arc.
Yeah.
Exactly. It should never not be logical.
Yep. Yeah. There you go. Oh, speaking of stuff that isn't logical, Rose, take my ring, which I still have despite not being an active pop, and find a suitable girl to take my place as Roomba Pop. And of course, the plot that she's going to just do it herself because that's, you know, the whole identity thing and whatever. But yeah. But who? I don't know. A suitable girl. Can I be more clear than that? Anyone will do.
Maybe her daughter herself is good.
Oh well, yes. Like she was that was one of the Ballroom props in the original version, so it probably is going to be her. But yeah. And I think to keep you extra safe,
it should be
you. It's best for
you.
you to leave Walla Roomba and go into hiding.
Oh, did not see that coming, but it makes sense.
Yeah, just don't pull a Princess Kim and disguise yourself a bit more than just, you know, not wearing a crown.
Oh, how will I ever have my happy ever after? They'll keep coming back. I have an idea to protect you and your daughter. Oh, really? What's that? Run and never come back.
That sounds like something Scar would say.
Well, he did say that, but I didn't think about that. That's when I said that too. That wasn't a purposeful Lion King reference, but it is what happened.
Yep. Okay. But then the princess, surely our people will notice.
I imagine, yes.
Rose has a point. She can't.
I mean, if the daughter of our main woman in the kingdom is missing, I think that would be noticeable.
Yeah, like they would at least some news media would probably at least publicize that, you know, she would be leaving. See, unlike the children of celebrities, if they're separated from, you know, said parents, you know, in the case of the princess, a bit more complicated there. My friend from Liv can probably get away with it, but you know, Princess Rose couldn't.
Rosie has a point. She can just leave the kingdom. What if we give her a disguise so people wouldn't recognize her?
Yeah.
Clark Kent glasses. Kent glasses.
Just, okay, I have an idea. You need to hunch your back, and I need you to throw on these glasses.
Yeah.
Wait, Clark Kent has the worst disguise in like fiction. Like, why does people not realize he's not Superman?
That was the joke that I was making. Even though there's more details to it behind.
I want to explain it.
To go on. because I heavily
No, I
disagree.
I explained it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. No, first off,
I appreciate I appreciate you guys actually like giving me a chance to explain when you thought I was gonna explain it.
Yeah,
So I just
yeah.
explain it. Let's stop explaining things, guys.
so okay, first off, he has
Hmm.
all sorts of mannerisms, but also disregarding even that. Okay, this is a pretty famous example. Henry Cavill, right? I think that's his name. The DCU Superman, super hot.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Also my least favorite Superman, but whatever.
Okay.
Too birdie. But he went off and he walked around it like, and this was after the marketing and all that, so everyone knew he was Superman. He goes around and he just walks around. I think he even put on glasses. No one knew that it was him. So
That's
no,
amazing.
if
Oh
people are
yeah,
not
I
looking
heard
for it,
about
people
this
will not
actually.
notice it. Or like a common one, right? If you want to get into like a concert or something, a lot of people just wear a vest that looks like it belongs in there, and they just won't even be checked. They'll just walk in.
Yeah, I will say if people started to
Actually,
suspect Clark Kent for whatever reason and they decide to look at him for more than 5 seconds, they might say like, "Huh, that's a bit odd." But unless they're actively looking for something, then yeah, he'll be fine.
It's,
As long as he covers his tracks and he doesn't, Then again, he does work for he does work
actually,
for
to add
like a
what you
news
just said,
company,
BD,
so somebody's definitely going to be investigating him usually. But
well, it's also like, I mean, you can run this experiment yourself. I mean, if you look around your room, and Jacob did this once, I brought this point up, not necessarily in this context, but if you look around your room, you can't name everything that you just saw. You know everything you just saw. Like you can clear, like you subconsciously got all of it. But you couldn't name it all of it. But if you know there is something specific that's important, you start looking around, you'll be able to remember that one thing now.
yeah,
You will
that's what I was saying
completely
about
disregard anything.
That's what I'm saying about people suspecting. If people did suspect Clark Kent, then yes, it would be obvious to them. But if they're not, if they're like the average person or something, be like, yeah, who's Clark Kent? What are you talking about?
Yeah, Lois is just a clever girl.
Yeah. Well,
I
and also a
actually, there
journalist.
was a YouTube
Sure, yeah.
video made about this very issue. It explained that because Clark Kent's personality is extremely different than what you would expect Superman to be, you would never make that connection in your
No,
head.
even Lex Luthor doesn't. There's a bit in the show where Clark Kent goes to do an interview with Lex Luthor, and Lex goes on a tirade about how much he hates Superman and how he quickly spins it to Clark Kent, where he's like, Clark, wouldn't it be better if Superman weren't around or whatever? And it's interesting because at one point during that episode, he goes, Clark, I like you because you're human, and he lists these qualities, and he's like, you are everything Superman isn't. And so
Yeah,
Lex loves
Oh,
Clark.
Clark-
He
and
hates
Clark's like-
Superman.
Clark's like, yeah,
That's
that's the point. I
interesting.
mean, thank you.
But no, it's just such an interesting dynamic there.
Clark at that point is like, is that an insult or a compliment? I would not
Yeah,
know.
I wouldn't know how to take that myself, actually. I was listening to this, by the way. It says, Fox, maids go tell the people that the bunglers have killed the princess and they're holding a funeral for the next 3 days, Queen Anne. You know what? Actually, this is the direct opposite to what my friend from university thought happened one time. I remember that this must have been like 2019, and at some point, because she's into conspiracy theories to some extent, and she was talking about how something had happened where there was some incident that's to do with the royal family, the Queen specifically, and
Sure.
she thought that was like a cover up that the Queen was sick and dying or something like that, and it was like, well,
But she really is immortal. She's still walking the earth to this day.
well, okay, yeah, this is context. This is 2019.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, she thought like
Very important distinction.
concealing this fact or something to not cause mass panic or something. Like, why would they bother doing that? People are going to notice eventually. That's and not and also to be completely honest, it's not like anyone wasn't expecting it to happen soon. So
This is true.
yeah,
No,
like,
it
what
only
was the
someone
panic
who is
gonna
a
be?
day away from their deathbed gets to have their immortality become a meme, right? You
Yeah.
don't get to that stage unless you've lived longer than you should have.
Yeah, but then also, fast forward to 2022, and when the queen does actually get sick, then it becomes national news, and even though there's no direct footage, there's like live coverage of like any reports that are coming in about
Oh,
her
the
health
monitor just
condition.
beeped up. The monitor
Your
just
jokes
beeped
are
up.
funny.
I don't know what that means. But oh, sorry, you would like. Sorry, I thought you meant my mod's on Ron stream. Never mind.
No,
Yeah.
like the live
So
stream.
yeah. So wait, something to that effect. And yeah, they were changing like the caption for the news every few seconds, and then eventually, when she did die, that was immediately within seconds, the queen is dead. So clearly, in hindsight, no one would have covered up anything. So,
Oh, no.
but
I mean, wasn't she immortal though? How would she die by illness?
So true.
well, that was the mystery.
Well,
until
actually,
the
that
news
was
covered
a
the
meme
fact that-
too. Actually, because as soon as she died, people were like, "Oh, she's been reincarnated as this one other famous person's baby."
I guess technically, we never did we never did see into like her room, because it was just like with her family and such at the time, so no one filmed anything. But it was all a bunch of exterior shots and like random reports that were coming in. So
Actually,
Yeah,
I guess
it's
it's kind of
interesting.
like it's kind of like in fiction where they say if there's no body, there's no confirmed death or something. It'd be that situation. But
Well, I mean,
yeah.
here's the thing: you totally could fake your death. I think I think it is feasible. Here's the problem:
Why would the
what do
queen
you-
want to do that? What does
Well,
she gain
no.
from it?
Well, no, the problem is, well, what you gain from it is a bit of safety. But the real question is, what are you gonna do when the grave diggers see no body?
Oh,
Because
Okay.
if you're holding up like a ceremony or something, either there's gonna be someone illegally digging up the body, or hundreds of years from now, a historian's gonna have a field day.
Okay, I've got to do this as well. Say there was a private cremation. There you go. They're not.
Okay, sure, a cremation could work.
Yeah. Anyway, what will they say when the princess just stops appearing? They will get suspicious. Yeah.
Well, if she's dead.
I will tell our kingdoms
will
that
tell
I
our
did this for your safety from the burglars.
From the bunglers. I mean,
Don't say that.
bunglers,
Do
it's
never
okay.
say that. That will just
What?
make the bunglers go to the daughter to get you.
but they won't know where the daughter is. That's the point.
Okay.
Wait, I
Yeah.
mean, if
Right.
they don't know where she is, isn't that more dangerous for the kingdom? They may take the queen as a hostage and this whole thing again.
No, I thought. Okay, okay. Let's lay the groundwork here, because maybe we're confused here. Who is running away?
The
Possibly.
princess.
The princess.
Okay. I thought it was the queen for a second.
No.
No,
Okay.
the queen stays.
Yeah. So ultimately, because again, the priority for the queen is the princess right now. So if she gets kidnapped, then she at least has the knowledge that her daughter's safe. Even though, again, the daughter had, she was safe regardless because nothing happened to her. But I mean, again, mother's worries. What happens? We understand. Anyway, besides, you won't be alone, because baby, you're not alone.
Unless you're Priscilla's mom. Priscilla.
Wouldn't you think that the kingdom is the most safe place for the queen and her daughter? I would think so.
No.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
they don't.
we
It's
have
because
all the
they've been
top
attacked here
girls
already.
here.
So they've been attacked here already, and they're a target. So in this situation, no, it isn't.
No, but the pop girls weren't here when that happened. But now they are here and they know their target.
Okay,
So
but
can just-
they're going to have other missions. They can't stay here all the time.
they can
They're
just
not.
keep
They're
on
not like
guard.
hired. Yeah, they're
Well,
not
I don't
high
know.
security.
Majesty has a lot of pops she could send over here.
Okay, also true, but they still would have to be called separately from their bases across the entire world.
They teleport, don't they?
Yes, but they still have to be summoned, and that's usually after a mission has been brought to their attention, which means by that point the queen would already be under attack.
Actually, I don't think there is a correct answer here.
Okay.
I do. The correct answer is higher security. You cheapskate kingdom.
I wish
Yeah.
I okay, this is like the second time can you stop saying things like you're gonna trail onto a bigger topic here and then just stopping. I don't think there's a correct question here. And I'm expecting a but.
Oh, okay, my bad.
All right.
All right, let's give you a but. But the kingdom statistically is the safest option. We need to keep at least one or two of the pop girls around the queen and princess at all times.
Again, if they didn't have other lives to go back to, then that might be a viable solution. Again, if it is higher security of some kind, then that would at least...
Well, clearly
No, they
security
get
ain't
shifts,
doing the
you know?
job well enough.
They're not
They
here. Do they even exist? Like, we haven't seen a single guard.
I would hope they exist, given
I think
given
they
the
do.
setting
It's
right
just as a
now.
budget. We can't show everyone at once, budget. But they can take shifts,
yeah, I guess it
the
is.
pop girls, like 2 at a time from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. to the red and the green, and then they switch,
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, and it doesn't even have to be like the same pop groups. Like, just whenever some of them are off, have them take shifts.
Okay.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because Majesty has a lot of them in her backpack,
Right? She genuinely has an army. I'm waiting for her to lay siege. She
Majesty
can
is
do it
becoming
if
too
she
strong,
wanted
man.
to. She could do it, and she'd probably win at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no easy way to visualize that in Gacha, but it is technically possible. Anyway, what do you mean that I won't be alone? You didn't think I was going to send you off by yourself into the world, did you? What do you take me for? Anyway, if it's okay with them, I'll send Hannah and Megan with you to take care of you.
Oh, good, the lesbians.
Yeah, who are not trained security, to my knowledge.
Just to be
What do you-
clear,
What do you
which
mean? They're
ones
super
are you guys
acrobatic
referring to
spy
as
maids.
the lesbians?
That's
Which
what-
ones?
Okay, BB, here's the thing. That would be really cool if that were an actual plot point. I don't think it is, though. They do have guards, I just didn't make them another whoops. Okay.
Man,
It's
I
okay,
bet the
wipe
kingdom's
out, man.
thinking the same thing too. Shoot, we have
You
this
can only
rank,
show
but we
8
didn't hire
characters.
any big
It's-
whoops, am I right?
Understandable.
Anyway, as if you were
Okay,
still here with
Jacob,
me.
Which 2
Yeah.
characters you guys refer to as the lesbians again?
The maids in the right corner.
And
Yeah,
why
I
is
like
that,
the-
I may ask?
Well, because they're
Because
they're sitting on the
Because
bed together.
BB made
they
a
were-
joke earlier about when in a scene when they were sitting on a bed together, saying they're starting to tell Priscilla, and she made the joke that they seem like they're going to be coming out. That's why.
Yeah,
Ah.
I do ship them now though.
I don't think it's official yet, but I think they're just friends. But I digress.
I mean, the creator's here. We're giving the
but-
creator ideas, so you never know.
Confirm
Yeah,
it for me,
maybe in the
Wipeout.
future.
Do it.
Don't worry, I promise it won't be too long before we can come home, okay? What's going to change from then to now? The bunglers can keep attacking it however many times they want. Their leader is literally immortal, so... Like,
I need you to walk straight until Thanksgiving, in which case you can come back home, we can have a nice dinner, you can keep walking.
anyway, I'll miss you. I'll
That's
miss you too.
wholesome.
Yeah, Johnny's good at wholesome moments like that.
There
Not
were
the
no
second
pops.
usually.
I actually love the most those simple moments, where it's like one simple thing going on, but it's actually important. Like impactful.
Yeah, you usually Johnny's setups are not the best for those moments, but the actual wholesome moments themselves, they do get you in the feels.
Less
Anyway,
is
so
more
to
on
help you remember
occasion.
me, that way I'll always be with you.
There is no pocket in that dress, though. I refuse.
Just tucked in like
I
the
love
belts.
you, Rose.
Oh yeah.
Where will I go?
We'll be moving
Moving
to
to
the
the
United
United Kingdom.
Good job. To a new kingdom.
Can I still contact you, Mother? No, it's too dangerous. They'll intercept the letters. Or the emails or text.
All right,
can,
they
if
have
you're making this,
WhatsApp going on or
You
Discord.
can always call or text me. Hope that no one hacks our phones. Be sure to install NordVPN so that they don't steal
Also,
your...
get a better internet connections than me.
That too. Oh, see, there we go. Look.
I ship.
There
Make
you
them a
go. There you
thing.
go.
Maybe in the future, Hannah and Megan can be a thing.
I will say, yeah, that's like unexplored territory for Johnny, because normally he doesn't usually do like budding couples. Usually that people are either already in a relationship or they're like everyone's just friends with everyone. There's rarely a case of like like a developing romance that goes
Unless
through
you're a
any of these.
bungler. Here's what I like.
Even if you're a
actually.
bungler, like Johnny hasn't done anything with the bunglers in terms of romance. It's mainly Eli that creates like entire family units for the Star Tribe specifically, and then like other bunglers.
No, I mean because you're like, oh, everybody likes everybody except for the bunglers.
Oh.
Also, pay attention to everyone's facial expressions here. Maids, frown. Daughter, frown. Mother, frown. 3 of these pops frown, except for Majesty and Priscilla, as happy as can be.
Yeah, I get what Majesty's satisfied. I'm not sure why Priscilla's so happy about this, but Majesty makes sense.
Majesty doesn't care, so it makes sense that she's smiling.
Shall we get ready to go, my lady? Sure, even though I don't want to go. Oh, that's why Priscilla's like, girl, same. I relate entirely.
Yeah, I had no...
Those two are going to be best friends because they're both trapped in a circumstance they don't want.
Right. Can I get a spin-off of Priscilla and the daughter trying to escape their social shackles?
I mean, but that might even need to be a spin-off. That might be like the plot of this.
But I really like the idea of a whole like season going over just their escape.
I feel like that works best as like a supplementary arc while they're dealing with the bunglers and everything else. Don't worry, we'll take amazing care of you, princess. I could tell there'd be a romance for Sophia in the next couple episodes of Eurovision Pops. Ah, you mean the ones I'm going to review soon? Fair enough.
That would be interesting. Wipeout fan? Can't wait.
Yeah. And one more thing, the 3 of you don't have to be formal with each other.
Oh wow, sorry.
I think that's their decision, usually.
Hey, okay. Oh, boys, things just... Oh, wow.
As my final royal decree for you, you shall now address each other as equals.
Hey, good
it's
good
because
news.
she's a queen, so she's like, it's okay, guys. You don't have to be super formal.
Yeah, but that should be Rose who says that, not the queen.
Oh my god, I love this.
True.
Okay, I want them to be together. Oh, that'd be a good idea. Remember, you guys don't have to be formal with each other if you don't want to. Yeah, is that so?
Goodbye.
Maybe because she's a higher authority than the princess, so she can order her daughter, you know?
No, sure.
Yeah,
it's just
but why
with
would
the
she want
context of the
to?
other things, there is a certain implication with it that's very humorous.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Right. Well, pros and cons time. So pros, there was a bit more character from most of the other pops, and an actual, an actual decent length of story in order to actually account for like how they get to here. Con of that, of course, is that it's the same story that we saw in Disco Pops. main perspective main character comes in, meets like the rest of the pops. First mission, they get called, and while they're still introducing to each other, and they have to rescue a princess who then ends up also joining their ranks. That description works for both of those situations. And it's a shame as well, because one of the things I loved about Ballroom Pops originally was, again, how unique it was in comparison to the other pop shows. Like the idea to have it set around like contestants in a ballroom television show as they're continuing with that, like clearly because Jonny also really loves that kind of TV show, so it felt like a natural thing to actually write and also could use like different dance choreography and such, and introducing like other dance partners at the same time. There was a lot going on with those, and this one it just kind of goes back into not a school drama, I guess, but like everything else
hello,
is
Bon.
pretty much the
How are you
same.
doing?
Yeah, what are we still doing here? Well, we've Bon, you make it sound like we don't know how long it's been. But yeah, we're doing pros and cons now. So
And it's not been 4 hours. It's been 3 hours, 37 minutes, and 18 seconds.
and the
That's
slower you say that
almost
sentence, the
4
more seconds
hours.
tick away.
Indeed.
Right. So but so yeah, I think overall I do prefer the original. What this one has over the original, I guess, is the uniqueness of like at least one of the powers. I would love to see some of the other powers that come into it, apart from, I guess, the shining from the green head pop. But that was probably not intentional. So yeah, I guess at some point I'm guessing that the other pops will get other focuses to themselves and not just Priscilla. I guess Priscilla did get a lot of attention in the original, mainly because when I pitched her, I outlined a bunch of stuff about her immediately, whereas most of the other submissions that came in later were more of a visual or aesthetic degree. And then, of course, the other exception is Rose, which is why they were two of the most developed in this episode. So in the future, that's probably something to think about. Is like what other things can be going on with the other characters that aren't just those two. But that does come with time. I will say I'm by the restraint of including all 7 pops at once because, again, Jonny's notorious for whenever a revival series happens, introducing plot points that either came in like seasons later or were original twists, and making them, as if making them part of like not a surprise anymore. Much like the fact that Rose is a princess this time, which I do prefer as a twist, like generally she discovers for herself, knowing full well that's the thing that happens to Pops originally with Peyton. But yeah, in other scenarios, again, with Disco Pops would be included in that, and the fact that we're going to meet those people, hopefully not in the next episode, but sometime in the future when there's like a demand for like more characters and we've got more of a solid ground with the 5 of them that we have right now. Because 5 pops is still a lot of pops, but at least with the length of the episodes that we've got to right now, there's much more of a chance for them to flourish than there was back in the days when episodes were about, a minute, 2 minutes long each. So, yeah, this I might prefer the older version, but this one, it has potential of a different kind. As long as it separates itself from what Jonny's story has been up until now, as long as it still continues to be unique in some way, I'm on board for this one. There we go. Anyone else have anything to add?
I think it was all right. Effects were decent. I know Avatar reference and all that, but it's true.
Flopsy,
here let's go. Flopsy appeared. Fantastic. No. I don't know. I thought the end had more punch than I was expecting, actually. I mean, it wasn't like I don't care enough about these characters to cry or anything, but it made me feel somewhat bad, which is not common for a lot of these pop stuff. I don't tend to feel much genuine emotion towards these characters, so inching close to that is good on its own, right? Genuinely, Priscilla's thing, super scary when you actually look at it from like an objective view. I know we would have never gotten this, and I know it would have never fit with the tone of this show, but I kind of wish we focused more on that. Just because okay. Either that or you should have changed how that happened entirely, because that was spooky. All right, picturing that from her perspective, horrifying. This entire situation at being a pop is she never consented to any of this. She did not agree. At any point did she agree. Okay, whatever. I think that's
All
all I got
right.
across. Whatever.
Uh, my thoughts about this actually. First of all, for a 20-minute first episode, the pacing is decent. It's not, there's no like jumping way ahead in the storytelling. You don't feel dragged along. You feel like you're just taking steps with the characters. As for the characters themselves, I love the color palettes, as I expressed earlier, because I watched Witches, especially because I watched it, and the elements, like you can tell without even seeing their powers, what their powers are gonna be. And another thing you did really well, Johnny, is with Majesty. And what I mean, she didn't appear many times. Like I can count on my one hand, maybe she appeared like 5 times throughout the episode. And that's good because she's
Okay,
an
hold on.
overpowered
For a 20-minute
character.
video, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, she's an overpowered characters, and the thing with those, we don't need to see a lot of them, especially at the beginning. Maybe much later we're gonna see an actual epic fight between Majesty and the leader of the bunglers. What bunglers? Is that how you
Those
say
they're
it?
twins, by the way. Imagine the bunglers are twins canonically.
They are twins. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be an epic fight between those twins, and
Yeah.
That would
we,
make
we
it
could
more
see
epic, actually, I would argue.
you could introduce more pop girls later and have them relate somehow to the existing ones. I can see a lot of potential for this. Actually, it was enjoyable, and the idea for the queen, the princess, to evict the kingdom instead of just staying and having her guarded at all times is good, because the guards weren't carrying it. The queen was kidnapped quite easily. So, but yeah, keep it up, man.
I will note that and I didn't even think about this really until Jacob pointed it out. But Jacob was saying, "Oh, how unique things were before," and I don't necessarily need it to I don't necessarily need this to be like the original Ballroom Pops, but I do wish that there was more ball. Like no one danced. Like
yeah.
I like for a Ballroom's Pop series, there should be significantly more dancing.
Oh yeah, maybe have them activate their powers by doing a certain dance move.
Well,
Sailor
now that you
Moon.
have access to Gacha Life 2 as well, that's another, a whole new avenue of dance moves to explore.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't
That's
the thing
all-
for the
that's all
original.
That's all my thoughts.
Okay. All right. Well, gonna end this here. It's almost 3 a.m. So please leave a like or dislike.